right, we got the song on, right?
You don't hear it?
Holy shit. Oh, this is going to go great.
It's going to be a good show today.
Oh, it's amazing. Thank you. It's right at 8 p.m. We could have let the song play another minute or two. Let the people trickle in. I'm assuming we got Red there. Yeah, it's live. Let it simmer another 30. Another 30. We'll let it simmer.
Jorge, push your coffee.
Huh?
Push your coffee.
Oh my God, so many roads, bro.
I
Literally
have
can't do nothing here.
Red Bear in my car.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
like a wide angle, bro. It's going to be right in front of you.
No coffee?
Just put it down.
Amazing. What are we allowed to do? Nazi Germany, bro. That's where I live as a host, bro. 1 minute in. No coffee.
I
do
wish
this,
it
do
was.
that. Can I just host, bro? You literally.
Can my kids have a homework?
Can I
they
please
hear
host,
us?
bro?
See, this is what happens when all four of us finally get back on. It's like
It
we're
was so
children.
great last week, man. Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Thank you guys for joining. It is 8:01. We're 1 minute in. It's a Tuesday show. We have a full panel, full attendance, and a lot has been happening in the news. We could start really anywhere from DC to California. We got some Dr. Fauci new text messages. We got some new AOC interviews. She's looking like she's going to run for president. We got HUD Secretary Scott Turney in Los Angeles. We got more fraud. We got the WNBA Culture Wars has officially kicked off. You better pick a side because this thing is going to get interesting. We got the, unfortunately, the sad news is Columbia earthquake, which we will touch. We got a lot of video from there. Before we actually get to our lead story, guys, I do want to just give a quick shout out. Last Thursday, we had Joey on our show. For those who follow here in LA, Joey is a dog rescuer who's been on the ground for years in the Skid Row, LA area. And he's been making really great impact. His work really got highlighted during the Spencer Pratt campaign. And we actually had him on Thursday, which was a really, really great episode. A lot of people were able to know about what was going on with the animal dog abuse in the Skid Row crisis. Dogs being, not only are they sold illegally, but they're giving drugs and much more. And the photos and videos on Joey's social media, I know Jerry tagged it in the last episode. They're some of the most harsh stuff that really pull at your heartstrings. Even the day that we had Joey on our show on Thursday, Joey was actually on Venice Beach with local law enforcement, cracking down on some of these illegal breeders and sellers. So actually, guys, before we get into the lead story, I did want to give a major shout out to Joey because today, according to Bill Asaley, U.S. Federal District Judge, the FBI has opened up a new tip line of $5,000 reward on animal abuse in California. And what was neat is when Bill Asaley made the announcement, he actually put a clip up from Joey giving an interview to KTLA. If we can, Jerry, if we could go to just Joey Instagram 5, this is going to be Joey's reaction to the announcement today. We'll take a listen and then we'll react to the panel.
Wait, we're not doing intros? Okay.
Today, Karen Bass just did a video today. Nithya did a video a couple of days ago, and I'm just speaking for myself in this video, but it's something that I've been fighting for years, for politicians in Los Angeles to speak the truth about Skid Row, and to not sugarcoat, and to not lie, and to not make things better than what it is, because Skid Row is not, it needs to be, it's a state of emergency, it's a disaster. And I'm just speaking for the animals, but the people there are suffering and dying on a daily basis. It's not fair. And I'm going to keep calling out politicians until action is made. I'm not going to support and applaud first steps. I'm not going to support and applaud learning curves. I'm not going to support or applaud words on a website or videos. I'm going to support and applaud actual change. And until that happens, I'm going to keep calling out politicians. I'm not going to play nice. If they're not going to play fair, I'm not going to play fair. They need to take this seriously. And this is just me. Everybody else could do anything else they want.
We could cut it right there,
anything that
Jerry.
helps the animals on Skid Row.
And Jerry, if we could just go to Joey shout out 1 in the media section, because I want to show something that actually came out just yesterday, and just so like our audience could see the actual dog abuse. So just for folks who may not be seeing the video, it's a dog just completely laid out on the streets of LA, saying, "My friend was driving home from Skid Row to the Valley, and here are 3 things she saw on the way home. you can't tell me LA has collapsed into madness. So it was a very powerful episode. Once again, guys, just want to give a huge shout out to Joey before we start the show and actually get into the lead story. It's actually cool to see someone who's been, working for years on the ground, trying to get change, Bill Saley react. And that actually, guys, happened less than a week after he came on the Americanos. So for podcast purposes, we're going to take all the credit. It's because he came on our show, got Bill Saley's attention. But yeah, big shout out to Joey. We want to have him on again. So now, guys, we're going to get into our lead story, but want to do the introductions. Join again. Anthony, you're back from Texas. Good to have you back.
Yes, sir. Welcome back, everyone, to the Americanos Podcast. Thank you for joining us this evening. We are excited. We got a great show for you guys tonight. Liberals within 50 feet of me are not safe. So I just want to put it out there for no reason at all. But it's going to be a great show. Super excited to have you guys back with us. And let's get right to it.
Boom. Haley's back.
Hi, I'm Haley Gomez, an investigative reporter in California for the Lincoln Media Foundation and the Daily Signal.
California crew.
Let's go. Araceli's back in the building.
Hey guys, I know you guys miss me. I'm the only reason you guys watch this podcast, the absolute only reason. So I'm back, your local state Senate candidate, and yeah, we've got a lot of topics to cover today.
Boom. So, guys, we are getting closer to the midterms. The polls are not looking good for Republicans. DSA candidates, Democratic Socialists of America candidates, are picking up momentum across the country. I know right now we got a primary in Wisconsin looking like Francesca Hong is looking to pick up a W, and that momentum is going to continue. Guys, in the midst of all that, though, AOC took some major headlines. She appeared on ABC with Jonathan Karl, and actually, even before she gave that interview, she made that video of saying that she's going to freeze her eggs. It's looking like she has big political aspirations. I'm getting distracted. She has big political.
What do you got a picture of her pulled up?
Araceli's face.
Oh, this is the start.
I flew back for this.
Yeah, you did.
She's got big old what?
Political aspirations. That's what we're going to call them here. It's a kid's show. We got kids watching. But she has bigger political aspirations. She goes on the ABC, gives this interview with Jonathan Karl, and the big takeaway was, quote, woke one was crazy. That little quote right there went mega viral. If we can, before we play that, she also was asked if she's going to run for president. She says she's not ruling that out, and she could possibly be challenging Chuck Schumer at the Senate. We're going to do Jerry's, if we could play that number 3, AOC on ABC sound.
Is that Francesca Hong has made clear her present stances to her electorate.
Yeah, she's moved away from a lot
Right,
of that.
she's moved away from it. And I have a local city councilman that has this saying, woke one was crazy.
Woke one was crazy. Okay, that's interesting.
And I think that what's important is that standing is that
That's the clip. Anthony, what's your reaction? We have her freezing eggs. Woke one is crazy. About an hour before the show, breaking up with the mans. It's looking like she's gonna run for president.
Yeah, man. Producer Jerry, if we can get a poll going in the chat, AOC
Dude,
for president 2028. Big ol'
Yo, I got like,
political.
I'm not gonna lie. I got like 4 texts right now saying big ol' what?
Yeah, big ol' what? Yeah, so we can get that in the poll for the people. But what's interesting is that I think that we look back a couple of years ago, I don't think that AOC really was looking at running for president. And to be honest, I don't think she really took it seriously until she kind of saw a couple of things. I think she sees the Republican infighting, and I think she sees that DSA is kind of making these wins across the nation. And so I think that she's kind of feeling a little bit reinforced, saying, hey, the ideas and the policies that we advocate for are actually doing well with voters, and we are able to win in places that we are winning. So I think that the political infrastructure has kind of emboldened her. On top of that, I think that I think that we all kind of believed that it was going to be Gavin Newsom for 2028.
He's in Michigan right now.
Yeah, he is in Michigan in half-empty rooms, by the way. The guy's not. But I think that the momentum for the Gavin Newsoms, unfortunately, have died off, to be honest. And I think that with this kind of DSA overtaking, even with Hassan Piker, them going back into the things that he said, instead of disavowing him, AOC, Bernie Sanders, Chuck Schumer, some of the most powerful people in the Democratic Party, instead of disavowing Hassan Piker talking about how white people have to be put into the slums.
Oh, you believe in
and all that stuff.
disavowing now, huh, Anthony?
No, that's quite the opposite. I'm
Okay.
a free speech absolutist. The thing I'm pissed off about the most is why is Hassan Piker allowed to make these comments and monetize off them on platforms like X, but Nick Fuentes is not allowed to be verified and make money as well, making his. So if anything, I just think that there should be a little bit of equality there. And in all reality, I even posed this question on Twitter is, how is it that the Democrats are embracing someone as radical as Hassan Piker? Doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter the things that he's advocated for. It doesn't matter that he's made comments like allow their capitalist blood to run in the streets. He's monetized everywhere. And when they asked Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer and AOC to disavow him, what do you think about his comments? They're saying, well, we need a big tent party to win. So that is really interesting that instead of disavowing their Nick Fuentes, they're embracing him. And I think, again, it's because the Democrats are seeing the writing on the wall. They're seeing that the party is kind of seizing this opportunity of the Republican infighting and fracture and saying now is the time to promote socialism. And Bernie Sanders was asked, what do you think about the growing rise of socialism? This is a problem. And he said, absolutely not. So it's
Mrs. Araceli, what do you think? AOC freezing her eggs? Women perspective?
Freezing your
Yes,
eggs
queen
to
base?
take
Yes, no?
to take back control. I think that's an oxymoron to an extent. I mean, it means that you don't have control over your life. You're not at where you want to be. You do want to have children in the future. You're 36. By the time you have them, you're going to be 46. Your child is going to be, when they're 18, you're going to be almost 60. I don't think that's taking control of your life for women. If anything, it's telling us that we're told to prioritize work and put aside something that you clearly actually want, like children. It's not a bad thing to want children, but women are now having to make that sacrifice. As of her running for president, I think she still has time. I think she's an asset in terms of fundraising, endorsement wise. She's got a better chance with Schumer's seat, right? That the 6-year term, she's going to win the New York primaries. She's a shoo-in for the New York primaries. I don't think her running for president and then losing is going to be a good look for her. I think she's got more time than anybody. She's only 36, which is young if you want to be president. As far as so I don't see her running for president yet. I think Newsom's still a better chance. She's got name recognition, sure, but I think part of the reason that she has name recognition is because Republicans hate her so much. They've made her the face of the DSA for the last since she was running 5-7 years. I don't know how long she's actually been in office. I remember she was actually somebody that I used to look up to when I was a radical feminist. I'm a little embarrassed about that. So
say that again, please.
Why am I not surprised?
It's my shame, guys. Wow. I'm not proud of this.
We're making shirts.
I'm different now. I'm a different person.
Haley, are you going to freeze your eggs like AOC?
If you tell me you supported AOC in your radical feminist,
were you a
I'm
radical
ending the show
feminist
right
as
now.
well?
No, I would say I was like socially liberal, but like I really just didn't care about politics, if that makes sense.
yeah, that's most people.
Yeah. So like I was a normie, like I was an average normie, and I didn't mind it. I actually preferred it for a while.
That's California, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel with politics, it's like the Matrix, the blue pill, red pill. When you're this involved in politics, you've taken the red pill, and it reminds me of that guy that's like, dude, I wish I would have taken the blue pill. Just plug
it all
me
kind
back
of
in.
went downhill after 2020.
I was happier when I was blue pilled.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I was. Life
Life
was
was
so
simpler.
much. Yeah,
it was
simpler. I
so
didn't think
simple.
much.
You didn't have to
I didn't have to take responsibility.
stress.
I blamed everybody else for my problems. It was so much easier.
It was great to be a liberal. Just blame everyone else for all your problems.
Never your fault.
It's,
Yeah,
huh?
I might go back.
Why? What? What's going on? Is there someone here? That...
Oh, sorry.
What's
I
going on?
had completely forgotten.
No, but I mean, do think about it. Like the worst thing that you would think about is like, man, I hope the Raiders win next year. You know, like that was like your priority. Like, you know,
No. For me, it
Why
was
did you
like
look at me? Taking
When-
shots, man.
when I say radical feminist, it was like, okay, I want
You
this
still
job.
are.
No,
In many
now I'm
ways.
different.
Yeah.
No, because before it was if I
Right?
want this
What
job,
changed?
and I
she's She's
You still
No, I'm not a radical
bro. If
feminist.
there's any surplus, I'm just saying. If
She's
there's
wearing the AOC suit.
the only man that can look, there's only one person, guys. There's only one type of man that can save her. Any strong single gay man, hit her up, please. You can change her life. Let's bring her back, dude.
No,
She-
hey, I got it. Nayib Bukele. If
If you can hear me,
if you have a strong man in your life, send her this way.
please.
if we can, Sherry, get it back on track here. Let's play this sound that I just sent you on the Telegram, guys. This is actually AOC directly being asked about running for president. We'll react.
I'm sure you saw the poll in New Hampshire. As the leading
So awkward.
candidate, leading choice for Democrats. First, are you going to run for president?
I mean, I'm focused on winning the midterms. I'm running for Congress right now.
But I mean, do you see this as something? I love the. I know you said you're open to it. Is it a realistic possibility?
I haven't ruled out the possibility, and I'm very humbled to the tremendous amount of support out there. I think that we have a responsibility to remain focused on the midterms and not on our individual aspirations or plans.
And running for Senate against Chuck Schumer, is that also something that's possible?
I mean, I think that anything is possible at this juncture.
We're almost out of time to get to your future. I'm sure you saw the poll in New Hampshire that had you as the leading candidate, leading choice for Democrats.
Yeah, we could.
First,
I think she's too soft to be president. I just don't like how soft.
And really quick, too, Jerry, this tweet I'm gonna send you. We could get it out for the audience. Also, guys, part of this whole AOC conversation, then obviously it's gonna spill into the culture war aspect of her freezing her eggs, and it's got obviously a strong reaction online from Republicans and Democrats. What's interesting is what I'm seeing here is like a lot of Republican women are actually coming out in support of AOC. And
What?
a lot of
No,
So
you know
what?
what? Not what? Not surprised.
Okay, so before we get your reaction, let me read this tweet. This is from Matt Walsh reacting to the news. So this Matt Walsh saying, quote, "She'll turn 37 in a couple months. If she got pregnant now, she would technically be a generic pregnancy instead. She's freezing her legs." Yeah, I read that wrong. This desire to start having children late in life is completely baffling to me. I'll have kids in their 20s by the time I turn 50. AOC apparently wants to have a toddler at that age. Totally backwards and ridiculous. And that tweet alone from Matt Walsh, 7.8 million views, as you guys could imagine, reaction from both sides. But a lot of the comments are Republican women siding now with AOC. And for me, now that I've got to kind of look at the reaction, it almost seems like AOC set up the perfect trap. By her doing the freeze the eggs announcement, she knows that Republican men are going to come out, be angry, say yada, yada, yada. And it almost shows, it continues to show why Republicans also do horrible with women voters. But it's part of the culture war, freezing eggs. I don't know how to sell it as a woman. Do you have a strong take on this? I mean, a lot of Republican women are
But I
siding
think
with
it
her.
says more about society that we cannot enjoy motherhood in our early 20s. A lot of the reason why people don't get married at such a younger age, it's not even young, is because you don't feel like you're financially, especially in states like California, blue states where the cost of living is higher. You want to get married and you want to have children when you're financially stable because you want to be able to provide the best life possible for your child. But at what time do you have that financial stability? 30, 35. At that point, you're a geriatric pregnancy. So as a society, we should be doing, I think, more to try and encourage women to at least enjoy being a mother, families to enjoy being parents. I don't think this is a Democrat or Republican issue. Actually, I do think it's a Democrat issue because the cost of living is the primary reason why people are pushing off kids, and the cost of living is higher in Democrat states. So if you want to start a family at an early age, move to a red state where cost of living is lower and you can start off your life. So I don't see a reason why Republican men and women should be mad at each other or there's political infighting. I really think this is just more commentary on issues that we should fix as a society.
Anthony, reaction to the kind of a culture war this has kind of set off?
Yeah, so I'm definitely not angry. Okay, I know you said Republican men are angry about this.
The comment section.
No, I'm definitely not.
The ones online.
No, I am angry. I'll be honest. No. Okay. Here's the thing. Okay, it's just here's the reality about conservative women. They're really they're really liberal at heart. And so when it comes to this stuff, they're going to look at AOC and be like, oh, like, queen, whatever. But Matt Walsh brings up a valid point. Look, I had kids when I was 19. My firstborn is going to turn 20 before I turn 40. Like, that's kind of crazy. But also, I can ball them up. So that's good. We want to have kids early. And you're right. We should be encouraging. I've encouraged my kids to start families when they're young. I have nothing against it personally. If they're teens and they get married, I was a teen when I got married, technically 18, 19. And, by the grace of God, we're here. And I also don't necessarily subscribe myself to you should be financially off. One of the most common questions that I get as a successful married man, again, by the grace of God, not because I'm smart, not because I'm awesome, none of that stuff.
Maybe his wife is watching this like, sure.
Maybe a little bit awesome. Maybe a little bit awesome. I've been doing something right. But it's just, one of the questions is, how do you know when you're ready? And the reality is you can have all the money in the bank. You can have all the degrees. You can have all that stuff. You're never actually going to be ready for kids. Because I know so many people that are so well off and they have kids and they become depressed because they're leaving behind a lifestyle that they appreciated and they now have these responsibilities. And so when I think of like children, I think of my grandmother in Mexico. This woman had 10 kids and they were dirt poor. I mean, there's just no real right time. Sure, you can kind of set yourself up for more success. I think.
But bro, that was
your
that
grandmother.
was the ranchos.
Yeah,
There ain't no
that's what
social media, man.
Your grandmother
what I'm
wasn't
saying-
worried about somebody teaching her kids her little boy to be a woman, right?
Okay, but I have my kids, and this is another conversation that I have with people. Is all my kids grew up in LAUSD, arguably one of the most socially liberal.
But it's gotten worse over the last 5 years.
I agree. But again, as Christian parents, it is on us to teach our kids.
I agree.
My son was in 10th grade when he came home and told me that there was transgender women that were pretending to be men that were now in their locker room, and that their PE teachers were like, look, you guys have to accept them because they identify as men, whatever. It was a problem that, and look, I told them, I'm like, look, there are people that have different lifestyles. And biblically speaking, these are wrong lifestyles to win. A man cannot be a woman and a woman cannot be a man. That's just God made us the way he made us. And so I told them, we don't subscribe to that lifestyle, but don't let me find out that you are bullying these people. Don't get carried away with your friends and start bullying these people or treating them differently. We love these people, we pray for them, and we hope that they can one day come to terms that, hey, they're not men. And the reality is that a couple weeks later, he came home and told me the problem fixed itself. He's like, hey, they're not there anymore because all the guys kept staring at them when they were changing because they're not men. Mm-hmm. They had women parts. So the men were just naturally like looking.
I wonder if
and so they felt so
parents-
uncomfortable they left.
Teenage years, bro. You got
that's
the
what I'm saying.
testosterone is.
But like,
Yeah,
I wonder
exactly.
if the parents of the girls knew that their daughters were being put in a boys' locker room to change in front of
Probably
a classroom
had to
of
know.
boys.
Yeah, they probably had to know.
Who knows? Because the schools are allowed to socially transition your children without telling the parents. So they could be telling.
But here's another problem that I have with that. Again, all wrong, by the way. Not saying that like, oh, we should encourage anything like that. But again, my children know it doesn't matter what your teacher tells you. It doesn't matter if your teacher comes and tells you, hey, don't tell your parents. They know better than to keep secrets from me. I raise children to come and talk to me. And so my children, dude, like when they were growing up, when they were teenagers, they accepted Christ and they got baptized on their own. I never forced it upon them. And so I remember our pastor gave like a powerful sermon right around the pandemic time when both of my teenagers got baptized. And he said that during the pandemic and during all this push for transgenderism and LGBTism in school, that there were more teenagers coming to Christ during this time and wanting to get baptized than any other time that he had been a pastor. And I think that it's because adversity, because these hard times push these children to look for, dude, I just want normal. This isn't normal. I think kids have like that sense of like, dude, there's something not right with that, you know? Obviously, there are children that maybe they get influenced. I remember when my daughter was in middle school, she came crying, went home, and she was telling me, Dad, it's June 1st, and they're celebrating all this LGBT stuff at school. She was telling me that a lot of her friends were, quote unquote, coming out as gay. And she's like, I know they're not gay, Dad, but they're doing it because they want to be celebrated. And so I remember her telling me, like, what do we get, Dad? What do we as Christians get? When do we get celebrated?
When we die and go to heaven.
Yeah, I guess maybe. Yeah, but it was a culture. What I'm saying is it's a cultural thing, and I think that if you are a parent, it doesn't matter whether you're homeschool, charter school, public school. You need to be talking to your children. And one of the things that I got out of the pandemic was you need to be talking to your children about the important issues and the tough issues.
And and you hit the nail on the coffin.
On the head.
On the head. So is your, I know I'm tired, guys.
really
I'm tired. So is your wife a stay-at-home mother?
No, she's been right now. She's
Part-time,
not.
and she can dedicate enough time to the kids.
She technically works from home.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so she can dedicate some time, right?
Yeah,
I think
of
that's
course.
the issue a lot of the women have, right? So okay, these conversations are important. They're essential. They're part of being a good parent, and they're necessary so that your children don't fall into those traps and unhealthy behaviors. But what if you don't have the time? That's what a lot of women don't have nowadays.
My mom was one of those people. My mom, look, I grew up in a single parent home. My mom didn't even speak English really when I was growing up. She didn't like understand what was happening in school. I saw some things at school happen. Were there gay people? Sure, there was. But I was a Christian. I went to church, and our pastor talked about these things, about the things that were being pushed in schools, etc. At the end of the day, you can shield your children, but you can't shield them forever. And I think that that's also a problem that the
well, the goal
conservatives
isn't
have.
to shield them; it's to prepare them, and you can't
But
do that if you're
sometimes
not
it's not the
there.
way that these conservatives parents are talking about. This is why we moved to a farmland with acres of land, and they will never see another person for the rest of their childhood. But
I
then
think
they
the
get, then
mentality
they get
is
to college
wrong.
and university, and their kids are coming back liberals because that's the first time they've ever been introduced to these subjects. But the point that I'm trying to get at is, regardless, again, if you live in 10 acres of land in Tennessee and you never allow your children to be around gay liberals, or if you raise them in LAUSD, is you need to be talking to your children. And the point that I was trying to make is if you don't talk to them, teachers will, other people will. You can't shield them forever, so have the hard conversations with them, you know? And I did want to go back real quick to the actual subject. The thing I'm surprised about the most was the New Hampshire. I actually froze the screen here. New Hampshire Democratic primary preference, AOC leading at 22%. You know who's in second place? I thought it was going to be Gavin Newsom. Pete Buttigieg is
New
number
Hampshire.
2. Gavin Newsom
state.
all the way down at 8%.
In where? New Hampshire?
It was a New Hampshire Democratic primary preference. I
Gavin
couldn't
Newsom's
believe
at
it, bro.
8%.
22%. That's
Wow.
nuts.
Why you're surprised?
I guess I'm surprised that mostly that Buttigieg is second place, because when I think of Pete Buttigieg running, I'll never forget that Democratic voter that voted for him. And like, and what do you think
Well,
about
in
him
New
being?
Hampshire, there's like no black people in New Hampshire, so he does really well there. Anywhere there's black people, no, I'm not even joking. Like, look at
So
any,
black
any
people are to blame.
No, I mean look at
I
when
agree.
anytime he runs, anywhere there's a black population, they just do not rock with a gay white man running. It's not like a crazy.
No, I know, but the voter that I'm talking about, I don't know if you guys
Politics,
remember
I
that.
can tell you
I don't
that.
know if you guys remember that video, but there was that very viral video. It was a white liberal woman that voted for Pete Buttigieg. And she was right there. She had just cast her vote. Like, who did you vote for? I voted for Pete Buttigieg. And he's like, oh, so like, you know, is it because he's gay? And the woman's like, he's gay?
Yeah.
He's like, can I get my vote back? do you guys remember that?
I never
Dude,
watched that.
It was like the best soundbite ever. Like, wait, he's gay? He's like, can I get my vote? Can I?
But I mean, it is
before we get-
surprising that she's got.
anyways,
But
that's what I was a
I-
little bit surprised.
We got a
about.
lot of super chats, but before we get to the super chats, just really quick. I mean, Haley, your reaction that Newsom's down so low in New Hampshire right now, and AOC is leading the pack there.
I'm not surprised. Like I've been trying to tell you, Anthony, that Newsom.
Oh, women's blaming.
You
Women's-plaining.
started
Here we go.
taking shots at conservative women around here.
Tell me I'm wrong.
So because he's taking shots at conservative women, we're gonna start supporting the liberal woman.
That's what.
We're gonna
That's
go
so
full
liberal
circle.
about you guys. Oh, you attacked me. I'm voting Democrat now. Oh, here we go.
I didn't say that I was voting for her. I'm just saying that I'm not surprised that Gavin Newsom is down. I think that the rest of America can see how much he failed. I think if you look at Pete Buttigieg, he is forgettable, to be quite
Yeah.
honest. And so when you're forgettable, it's easier to be like, oh, Gavin Newsom ruined California. Okay, I'm not going to vote for him. But Pete Buttigieg, yeah, sure. I don't remember him. That's literally what it is.
Once again, a lot of white people in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
They like Pete. All right, guys, we are gonna move on. If you're just joining us right now,
Real quick, before you go to the
Yeah.
chat, Jerry, I just sent you the video. Please play it. This is like the best. It says Iowa voter shocked to learn Buttigieg is gay, asked to change vote. Check this out, dude. This is the best.
I want to watch this.
Same-sex partner? Yes. Are you kidding? He's married to him, yes. Well, then I don't want anybody like that in my house. So can I have my card back?
Can I get it back? She was so serious.
I never knew that.
Okay, but AOC having
She said, we can't have anyone like that in the White House. She said,
love
can I
that.
get my vote back? And they're like, no, you already
because most
voted.
voters aren't informed about who they're voting for, and that's
He's
just-
forgettable.
But that's why
He's forgettable.
This is the average.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is the average liberal voter, bro. They go out and they vote, and
can
they
say the
vote
same.
for a Democrat, and then they come to find out. I want to repeat this because maybe some people in the room didn't hear it because they were shaking hands. This is the average. This is the average liberal voter, bro. They go and they vote for these people, and then when they're told what they're actually running on or that they're gay, they're like, "What? I didn't know this." And I'm like, "Dude,
Well, that's
classic
exactly
liberal."
why AOC is leading the polls at 22%, because a poll 2 years out from the presidential election doesn't actually mean anything. She's one of the most popular Democrats alive. Yeah, of course. But I think that the Republican Party and conservatives are actually partially to blame because they've made her the face of every problem for the last few years. So if it hadn't been for the Republican Party, I don't think she'd be as known as she is now. So I think the real question to ask is who's second option to them?
Pete Buttigieg.
Josh
yes,
Shapiro.
right?
No, we already talked
not
about
Josh
this. Not
Shapiro.
Josh. He's Jewish. Democrats are done with Jews. It's become an anti-Semitic party. Really sad.
Because right now they're just going off who they know the most, not what their platform is and what they even know about these candidates. Once they start learning about the candidates, that's where their popularity drops.
We are going to move on, guys, to the second story. That was our first one. It took up, half an hour of the show. If you guys are joining right now, thank you. It is 8:31 here local time. We are streaming live. If you are joining the chat, please comment, join the conversation. We have a lot to talk about. We start out with AOC gearing up for 2020. She's looking like she's going to run for president. Let me go through some of these super chats. We have a lot, especially started going active when my boy Anthony was going on his rant. People like it when you go on these rants, man. We got Ivan
Yeah,
the
we
Elite
gotta bring it
saying
back.
active engagement with the kids is key. Ivan the Elite also following up saying stay-at-home boyfriends are ready for a woman president. Jose Vasquez 4720 saying, did I miss Jorge declaring for the WNBA 2027 draft?
Oh, he'd lose.
No, he'd win.
Penny Witt saying COVID is
even the
around
girls
the
are like
time
twice his height.
Christian Orthodox Church attendance exploded. Glory to God. Thank you, Penny Witt, being one of the loyal ones always in the chat. Richard Sweet 7842 saying, when that kid grows up not trusting in Jesus, they wonder where it started. Obviously, it is in the home. It seems like everyone is agreeing with Anthony. Richard Sweet 7842 following up with parents encourage
Don't
this
say
trap.
that. You support stay-at-home boyfriends?
No, what the fuck?
That's what the
frick?
comments were about. Stay-at-home
No,
boyfriends.
the comment said, talk to your children about politics.
Yeah,
That's what
TB. Thank you, TBWI Studios, always in the chat saying
You
Anthony
support Sam.
is so
God,
smart.
no, that's so emasculating.
Christ is King says, agree,
That's
Anthony.
so- imagine
You
having
will
to-
never be ready. Kids help my husband, and I get to where we are now. Christ is King. That's a beautiful message. Look at that, Anthony. You got a lot of people in the chat agreeing with you. This guy should run for
My
president.
boy is back.
Oh
We
my
got
God.
I am back.
We got Christina Bracera saying, I agree with Jorge. It was a trap. I thought the same. Christina Bracera following up. Well, thank you, Christina, on that. Let me say Red Bear 85. Red Bear, let's go. Red Bear, we love you, man.
Hey.
Saying, I am not settling down with a woman if I don't have an occupation that will take care of the family.
Now that's how
See,
men
no.
should think.
No, dude. Okay, look. Again, I know we can say this from when we start like filming, like the dating line and stuff like that. Dude, I get it. I met my girlfriend when I was in high school. You think I was...
I know 19-year-olds
Because you
making
were
$100,000 a year.
right,
No, but
guys.
I know 19-year-olds making
But-
$100,000 a year. When a man, I believe in men more than you do because when
Okay.
a man wants to, he will, and he is absolutely capable of. We
Okay,
bathe
2 more
I
minutes. and you go on a
always
rant.
pro-
One more minute.
I
You go on a rant.
always
One more
provide
minute.
it.
One more minute, guys. We have a lot here.
I'm not saying you did it.
We got Strong. We got Red Bear 85 saying,
You're saying you need
Addison Haley on the
100,000
tick-
to support. You don't. You
No,
don't need $100,000.
but they can if they want to. Like it's a complete possibility to be able to make that at 19.
You got to live within your means. And the problem
Yes,
is
that's true.
that there's way too many women that do not live within their means and they want men to help them live within the means that they set for themselves. I don't want to get married unless we can do one trip to Europe every single year, unless we can have Disneyland passes.
What kind of woman are you talking about?
I'm talking about all the women.
I don't want to have kids until I can send my kid to a Christian private school so that they're not
literally
brainwashed.
Making my point. I don't want to get married unless my husband can afford
Disneyland?
to. My kids go to public school and they're baptized and they're good kids.
That's fine, but that's fine. But everybody has their priorities. But how are we going to compare
That's
a trip?
really what I'm saying. Your priorities are wrong.
How are we going to compare a trip to Europe to wanting to put your children in private Christian school?
Because it's the same as setting I'm not going to get with a guy unless you can promise me that all my kids are going to go to private.
Well, the thing is, I can do it for myself. If I want to have kids now by myself, I'd be able to put them in private school.
But you can't unless you freeze your eggs.
No, I could. I just wouldn't be able to see my fucking kids. So that's why I don't have kids now.
Freeze your eggs then.
Freeze your eggs.
Freeze them.
In 15, 20 years, I'll be even busier.
Be 60 years old and have 3 babies.
Maybe what I need is a stay-at-home boyfriend. Maybe Anthony was right. Maybe I do need a stay-at-home boyfriend.
I never said anything about stay-at-home.
No. The comment said something about stay-at-home boyfriend.
No.
You know, that's probably why AOC broke up with her man, because she was like, I am literally being considered as a presidential candidate. If I make it into the White House,
Hold on,
I'm
guys.
going
We
to
got a
have
couple
a
more
first
because we do have a
husband.
lot. Let me just get these off and we will move on. Okay, we got Strong Ian saying, break up with a BF and freeze the eggs. That's weird at once. Red Bay 85 saying, out of selling Haley on the ticket. Penny Wits, just like most women in movies, AOC will be replaced with the next thing that comes along. Penny Wits also following up saying, Araceli is a feminist though, through and through.
100%.
Well, as well as admit it and defend it with your convictions.
100%.
Damn!
Yeah, I absolutely believe that women can do most things like in the workspace that a man can.
TBW Studio saying, Jorge
So much so
Sui,
that I
she
believe I
posted
can
yourself at the
crush
gym.
any man.
What happened?
That's feminist. That's so feminist.
I said yes. I said
Okay,
absolutely.
so why are you telling Penny
I'm a
that she's...
conservative feminist. I'm gonna start another movement.
That's bullshit.
TBW.
The only reason that we need to be strong is because conservative men have become so weak. So blame the men.
Ooh, respond.
Oh, yeah, the conservative men that you meet at gay bars.
Oh, respond.
Yeah.
I deserve that one.
Yeah.
I do deserve
Freaking
that
A
one.
over here. And hanging out with the libertarians. Yeah. Those conservative men there,
I'm really not helping my case.
Yeah, you're really not. Good shit on, bro. Let's go. We're so back, baby. We are so back. I am back from Texas. Let's go.
Tell her, bro. She's shitting on the libertarians
today, bro.
My life is short.
Tell her, smash.
How do my life choices vindicate you? I don't get it.
Damn it. Repellent with this pen. Ow.
Just because I make terrible life choices doesn't mean that Republican men aren't weak. Just saying. Oh my God.
Just because I hang out with gays all day doesn't mean that there aren't conservatives out there somewhere that are terrible.
Where do you find them in California?
Church.
No, I don't. I go to church 2 times a week.
I don't know what church you're going
Yeah,
to.
what
Maybe it's
church
time
you
to
go to?
switch church.
Well, because I
West
go to
Hollywood?
You're
church
just
to
telling
find a
her to
husband.
church hop?
Yeah. He
You're
just
just
told me
telling
to
her to
cheat on my church.
ChristianMingles.com.
Bro, it's
Yeah, I'm
so
not doing a
boomer.
dating app.
You were
I'm
such
not
a
doing
boomer
he is,
sometime,
he
I
really
swear.
is.
Like,
They're not doing
you're
your
doing
dating
no
app.
options.
Look at this. Look at this.
You live in an
This is what I have to
alternate
deal with this.
reality
No, he's
because
just
you
not
got
doing it.
married at 18.
He did.
We got Penny
conservative.
Wits saying, can we please hear from Haley? Penny Wits wants you to talk.
I think you live in an alternate reality because you got married at 18, and that's really great. No, I think that's a beautiful thing.
It's beautiful, bro.
I think, you know what? What is a testament to the fact that there are concerns with men, specifically, not just conservative men, but men in general, was Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was preaching to men because he was trying to build them up and make them strong. And that was one of the issues. And I think that, you know, one of the messages that Turning Point says that I have an issue with, that they just tell women, is to just go find some man and get married. And I don't believe that you can.
No. They elaborate to that as well, though, because he made a point that I completely that made it really easy to understand. You can go to work and you can start work at 27, but the older you get, the less likely you are to have children. The less likely you are to steal that life that you want from yourself. And you're robbing yourself of that opportunity. As a woman, we have to be realistic. We do have biological clocks.
Yes. No, I'm saying post Turning Point. At AmFest, it was repeated again and again and again and again by certain people to just go find some man. There was no sanctity of marriage. There was no, what kind of man are you looking for?
I do think that they grow very hard on what kind of men.
I didn't hear it at AmFest. Didn't hear it. like at all.
Now the feminists
At
are
all?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now they're eating each
No, because
other.
I do. What? No, because I do
Now
agree
they
with
can't
you.
even
Like,
agree
what
with each
type
other.
of man? Well,
Yeah.
And my next comment was, I do agree with you. What type of man actually matters? Sure, but I do agree with the fact that they should be telling women that this is a choice, because you can pick up a career when your children are old enough, but you can't pick up being a mother at 50. It's just not the same.
No, I'm not saying that people should get married late. I'm just advocating for the fact that the concern of the conservatives isn't on equal sides. Like, just as much as women should look at what type of man, the man also should be a concern as well. I think feminism ruined men.
I agree.
Feminism
But mostly
absolutely
women.
Okay, but equally men as well. I mean, again, you're not dating. You're not talking to guys.
So yeah, before
Wait,
it
hold
used
on.
to be. It used to
They
be like.
don't
plays a role,
approach.
guys.
They
Social
don't
media-
approach.
Hey
And
guys,
it's-
social media plays a role too, right?
No. Well, yes, they don't approach me because a lot of women bite their heads off. So I was talking to one of my employees who told me that he took this woman out on a date. He opened the door for her, or opened the car door for her, and she yells at him, "Oh, you don't think I can open my car door?" So he's
This is the
like,
problem with
Don't
all
say
liberal
that, ho.
women.
I
This
was
is the
like,
problem
he
with
was,
all
he was,
liberal women.
that
he was like,
ho.
I didn't say anything to her. I just closed the door and drove away.
Sometimes you gotta take the captain hat off, bro. You can't save all of them.
Yeah, but I
This
mean,
goes off. You're
But
the
that's what I'm saying.
stay-at-home boyfriend kind,
Feminism
huh?
has made them scared.
Yes.
Like, it makes them scared and it ruins them.
But it also lowered the standards for men because they realized they could get whatever they want. I think feminism benefited men who just wanted hookup culture.
Yeah.
Because before, if a woman wanted to sleep with a man, he was thinking about, I have to buy her a house, I have to give her, I have to be able to provide for her. Now it's
That's a swipe left, and here's the abortion bill.
There you go.
Yeah.
It benefited men the most.
Feminist women and liberals
Women
have ruined
now
mankind.
men think about
Anthony,
caring
if you
for
were
a
president
woman and a
day
family,
one,
and they see it as like a
burkas, huh?
Wait,
a
I've been
burden.
waiting for this question. Hold on.
If you were president day one, burkas, huh? Burkas. Burkas.
Burkas?
Burkas.
No, you don't have to wear burkas. That's definitely a Muslim thing. We're trying to get rid of all of them. We're not trying to import that culture into our
Who's all of
Christian
them,
culture.
bro?
Muslims.
And who's they?
El Sayed. El Sayed and Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, you can say
they can
that
all go
again,
back.
brother.
You know what's funny? What's that guy from? Is he from Fox News? That liberal guy with the big mustache, Gerardo Large. Or what's his name? What's his?
Gerardo Rivera?
Yeah, him. Did you see that? Like he was against deporting the Somalians that were in it?
Haitians, bro.
The Haitians. So whatever, they're all the same. But anyways, he was saying like we can't deport Haitians back to Haiti because we're sending them back. Wait, Somalians or Haitians?
It's Haitians right now.
Okay, that's what I said. Haitians go back to Haiti because we're deporting them back to hell. And then I replied, so does that mean importing Haitians? Does that mean we're importing demons?
And you actually walked in right into a media thing. Really quick, let's play number 4.
Perfect.
Weekend Jerry, deported Haitian. This has 5 million views on X. Yeah, this is the ankle monitor in Ohio from our scooter caster.
Yes, that is
Let's
so
play that
funny.
video and then we'll react, Jerry.
Love the pause.
You want to provide some commentary here, Anthony?
I can't see the video.
It's a guy basically ankle crying, ankle bracelet crying. About to be
Oh,
deported.
this is because this.
You just laugh. Anthony smiles.
So basically, what we have here is this Haitian man. He's upset because he has an ankle monitor.
Yeah, we don't have to keep playing it, Jerry. We're good. We're good.
Yeah.
But that video went viral. Dude.
No, yeah, that video did go viral.
5 million views.
And that's
so
actually what led to that Gerardo guy.
Yeah,
posting.
that's what's going. Yep.
Posting saying that sending Haitians back to Haiti is deporting them back to hell, and that's why he made the reply was importing demons, because if they're coming from hell, then they must be demons. But no, I mean, just with that, I mean, obviously you feel for the guy. You don't know what the guy's situation is. You don't know what he went through, but. It's the same. It's going to be the same argument for me, dog. You know that I make every single week is you can feel for migrants, you can feel for people that are trying to come to America for a better living, but things are really bad in America. We've got liberals that are trying to move to California. They can't afford it. What about those liberals? What about liberals that want to come to California and be able to live with their boyfriends, but they can't because it's so expensive out here? Well, how is importing thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of migrants going to make life easier for Americans that are struggling every single day? And so it goes back to, I know Araceli's all for migrants working low labor, cheap jobs because she loves slaves. And she even talked about hiring one for a driver. because the American I referred was too expensive. But anyways, and she hasn't called them back at all. I understand that liberals and Democrats love brown, black, cheap labor, but it's TPS.
I'm sorry, Republicans do.
It's TPS. I completely agree.
Okay.
I
Say it,
absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
Let's equally call them out.
Okay, sure, feminist Haley. Thank you so much for that.
That's not a feminist talking point.
No, but we should treat both sides.
No.
That's such a
hold the party accountable. If they're not held accountable, then when are they going to stop?
Well, when we're trying to deport them and put ankle monitors on them so that they don't run away.
No. You said cheap labor.
They are cheap labor.
Yeah, and what do
Exactly.
Republicans love? Cheap labor, apparently, in Texas.
Maybe. I mean, but again, I'm not for that.
Well,
So
I mean,
I'm not that
why
Republican
cheap
guy.
labor in Texas? Is it just because the
Because they're
wages
working
are
in
lower?
agriculture and they're working these jobs like in farms and stuff like that are just cheap labor. Who was it? No, it was Rick Scott out of Florida that was defending TPS, right?
Yeah, we actually we covered it here on the podcast. It was Rick Scott, senator out of Florida, was defending the Haitians and trying to get the Trump administration from essentially trying to get like a delay.
In Ohio too, right?
And Ohio, we have Governor DeWine, both Republicans, by the way. Just want to make sure that people know that what we did, it's not Democrat lawmakers that are coming out the woodwork to defend the Haitians. It's the Republican lawmakers. But yeah, that video going very viral, so perfect. We got a lot of super chats. Let me read some of these guys before we keep moving on. We have a lot of headlines because we just had a lot of news generated over the weekend. So we got TBWI Studio says, "What a crybaby, such a gay Haitian." So it looks like Anthony's. I'm saying Red Bear 85 says,
So
"Watching
true.
Haley Araceli and Anthony debating against each other is classic." Richard Sweet 7842 says, "The men influencers are Andrew Tate, while the woman is extreme feminist. Terrible idea to look up to these people. We need more leaders that point the youth to Christ, not the world."
I agree.
We got Palo Libertarian saying Texas
Paleo.
Republicans are basically Democrats.
I agree with
Nice.
that sentiment. They're allowing nothing but Muslims and Indians into their state. And they allowed, I used to get so much crap for this when you were covering the border crisis. I used to say this was 100% on Governor Greg Abbott to allow the invasion of our country for the last 4 years. And it all happened with an all Republican legislature, with a Republican governor who cucks for Israel. And also Texas, okay, you're not going to silence me. Texas also, they claim to be, we're heavily armed out here. We have constitutional carry. Where was that when we were being invaded to the border? So yeah, absolutely, Texas, super cuck state. I agree, absolutely.
Damn, bro, you just called the whole state of Texas the B word, basically.
Well, a lot of the border towns were which was never covered. They were threatened too. So a lot of the people that lived in the border
use your guns.
lived in fear of the cartels.
They wouldn't have to if they had guns.
Let me go through some of these super chats, guys, before we move on to the next story. We got a story, Strong in Yes saying, "I think what's lacking is maturity. Just look at the red pill content. Look at that
100%.
bad B music women listen to. I'm not a feminist, but I am thankful for what beginning feminism did for women." I think when she says bad B music, rap music.
Wait, what did beginning feminism do for women?
Give us the right to vote and make us go to work.
Terrible.
Why are you guys happy about that?
We got Limes.
The nation only got more liberal when women started voting, and then now you guys want to go to work?
We got Limes and
wants to go to
Lilies.
work?
Limes
Not
and
me.
Lilies says, "I'm not a
I'm
feminist."
lying. I would go crazy at home.
Hold on. Limes and Lily says, "I'm not a feminist, but I would want a stay-at-home boyfriend. LOL. I'm a medical provider and love helping people. It would be nice to have a partner to handle at-home things." Okay, Limes and Lily's looking for an at-home boyfriend, I guess. And then Jose Vasquez 4720 says, "Araceli, Haley, have y'all not met a man of God your age? Trust me, brother."
No.
No.
Wait. So
No.
you guys have never met a Christian man?
No. We've
That's
met
crazy.
plenty of Christian men, but they usually when they're at the church and they're devoted to God, they're already married with like a ton of kids.
So
Did you grow up?
We
in
don't want married men.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
My boy Jorge literally said, just because there's a goalkeeper doesn't mean you can't score a goal. I'm like, that's crazy work.
we all like Big Chat. I mean, I don't know.
Oh God.
Wait, quick
It could be a
follow
challenge from
up.
God. You can be challenged.
Quick follow up.
Yeah.
So you guys grew up in church. You grew up in church. I know you did.
I did.
So you didn't know boys your age?
Nah, yes.
How do
yes,
we
I
lie
did.
about this? That's what she's thinking about this.
No, but I
Right.
wasn't like, okay, so I went to Christian Catholic school up until I was like 17. After that, I went.
Was it all female?
No, mixed.
So you never knew any guy there?
I wasn't allowed to date.
Oh, they were all married.
I wasn't allowed to date until after I finished like university. I wasn't even looking at men. Why is that so funny?
It's starting to make sense, right?
I have Hispanic parents. No, you know what the worst part about that was?
To make sense.
Hey, when's the last time, like, genuinely, bro? When's the last time you've been on a real first date? Genuine. Has it been more than a year?
You know what? I'll answer questions about my personal life on subscribers only.
Yeah. We're gonna roll that out.
We gotta do subscribers
only. Let's bring
only.
it back to the headlines. Sorry.
We'll bring it back, but let me just get through because, guys, we have an active chat, and I want to make sure the people are coming through. They're watching us live. Pennywitz saying, "Let's face it, Haley is still feminist light."
That's correct.
That's correct.
She also has a super chat.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Huh?
Did you see Pennywitz's?
Oh yeah. Pennywitz, $5. Thank you. He says, "Haley, how do you hold the party accountable once you've cast your vote? Wait another voting cycle. Appreciate the discourse," from Pennywitz. I don't know if you want to answer that, Haley.
I think that starts locally. I feel like you would say that too, Anthony.
100%.
I think local issues are the most important issues if wherever you live at that directly affect you. I think Maha has shown this a lot throughout the last couple of years of showing that what they can do when you hold local leaders accountable.
School board, city councils,
all of that. And
Maha
I
is
think
all up in that.
They are. And their strategy is very, very successful. And I think calling out the people that need to be held accountable, no matter what side of the aisle that they lean on, I think is up to those people and those constituents. Because when you have a real gripe, and when you feel like your vote is, supposed to go somewhere and it's not going, or your tax dollars are going somewhere that you don't agree with, banding together as constituents does a lot of work that I think most people don't recognize. Now, nationally, that looks like something different on a different level for like campaigning wise, but I would say locally is where that starts, and getting those activist groups. I mean, we see it down in Orange County a lot with the cancer stuff and the pesticide stuff that I'm covering.
Oh, yep.
It all started with a 3-person group that blew the whistle and then made enough commotion on social media to where now today they were actually up in Sacramento talking to lawmakers. And that's how you make a change. That's how you hold leaders accountable. Because I think, again, specifically within California, those politicians have not been held accountable. And I think they get really stunned when you start pushing back and start calling their offices and being like, hey, what the hell are you doing? And so, yeah, that's what I would say.
Thank you, Pennywitz, for that
Just
question.
to like piggyback on that for Pennywitz, I would also say, and you kind of alluded to it, is show up to their town halls.
Yeah.
Show up to like whenever they're having a fundraiser, be that person that stands up and asks a question. Hey, last time you ran, you swore you're going to defeat this or tackle this issue. You told us, us moms that you were going to take care of this school issue, whatever. And if they're not holding, dude, let everybody know. Like, I need everyone here to
clip
have
it up
someone
on social
record
media.
it 100% and tell them like, look, this person. But if all we do is just say, this guy turned out to be another rhino, and then you just stop voting or stop being disengaged, then the person's just going to go on just doing what they want because there's no accountability. There's no kind of embarrassment for that person, especially publicly. So if you go to these town halls and just make it a point to just keep showing up and be like, dude, I'm not going to leave you alone until you either do what we told you and what we elected you to do, or I promise you, we're going to find someone to run against you.
Yeah.
And we're going to dilute the votes, whatever we're going to do to make sure that you leave. But if you're not that person and all you do is just complain that the politician didn't follow through with it, I mean, this is why, again, I have to hand it to the liberals. They're really good at that. Especially think back of like all the videos that we all watch. October 7th happened. Israel happened. All these DSA members went to their representatives saying, when are you going to stop voting to send money to Israel? When are you going to stop?
You and I, Anthony, we're in Minneapolis, and when they wouldn't get their way with Bovino, remember, they went all the way to Klobuchar's office and protested one of their own. They don't care. They'll hold out. They'll make it uncomfortable.
Yep.
Where the right doesn't really do that, they'll kind of fall in line more.
Exactly. No, yeah. You actually brought up a really good point that I had forgotten about. When we were in Minneapolis, we were getting like text alerts that DSA, that the liberals had stormed the state capitol
of a senator.
And storming her office saying, we demand to know what your plan is for these ICE raids. But on top of storming their capital, their state capital, and so on top of storming their senator's office, they were also out in the streets following ICE, blowing whistles because they're like, dude, you're not going to be allowed to do that. And so, again, huge points to them. And I know what people are going to say. I know what they're going to say. Oh, yeah, but when we do it, we get arrested for it. When we storm okay, that's the way it has to be. It's going to have to be on your record that you trespassed on federal. It is what it is, man.
Well, I'm not saying storm
a lot of these people are being arrested too. I mean, dude, if we have to storm a Capitol every once in a while, that's what we got to do.
I don't know.
Okay, if you haven't done the super chat, hold on. We haven't done the super chat. As the host, I'm going to step in. Yeah, we don't endorse that. We're 5 minutes, guys, from 9 o'clock, so we'll be right at the top of the hour. We hit a couple of our top stories that it started off some nice lively debate, which is always good on the panel. We do got some super chats that I do want to read, guys, and then we'll get into the next story. We're gonna get into the culture wars just because we're talking about men, and we're gonna get into the culture wars of the WNBA.
Can I read the super chat?
Yeah, you do this one.
Okay, so this is
Thank God.
Caniwal Bevergas. It says 19th Amendment. This is a $20 donation.
Yeah,
Thank you so
$20.
much, my friend. I'm sure what I'm about to read that you wrote is going to be a great point. So it says the 19th Amendment is a prime example of giving women power, and they simply cannot handle it. They delay and destroy families, unalive their own babies because it inconveniences their freedom of starting a career and being able to go out and have fun.
So why did the men? Why did you? Because this is a generation of.
Let's listen to the
This
feminists.
is a result of a generation of fatherless women. You guys failed as fathers, failed to teach women the proper values, and now we are seeing the actual real life consequences of that.
Are you calling him a black father on this podcast? I will not have it.
How dare you call me?
I won't have it.
Wait. So you're gonna blame the men?
Yes, as men,
This is men's fault.
Yes, conservative men are. Again, I will always say this: you guys want to be the leaders, right? As leaders, you have to take responsibility for the shortfallings of everybody that you are leading. So when the women, and especially
That's
the daughters,
exactly what I've done all my life.
perfect, as in a society or just in your household.
I mean, I am a conservative activist, so it's also been at the state level.
Okay,
It's been
so
at the county level.
this is exactly why we have to start.
The problem is, I
making-
hear what you're saying, and I agree with it.
Okay.
I'm just not the one.
I'm not saying you are the one. I'm not.
When she says
It's
you
the men.
guys and you
It's
guys and
the
you guys,
conservative men.
It
It's the
might
men.
be liberal men,
Because,
for
let's say,
sure,
you
who
guys-
want to stay at home and be stay-at-home boyfriends. Absolutely, it's
Yes.
liberal men.
So
but
we
it's
are-
not all conservative men because
We
there was a
are
conservative
facing the
man.
consequences of weak conservative men in society.
And also the problem, and you got to remember this, is that there are strong conservative men that are trying to change the world, that are trying to change the nation, and unfortunately, they take bullets to the neck. So
They do. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't keep encouraging our young men to stand up and
absolutely,
be strong
and it
men.
also doesn't mean that we retreat and that we just go and hide because liberals will go out and target us or whatever.
Exactly.
We stand up front and talk. What I'm saying is, I agree with some of what
He's
you're
like
saying.
sitting there like,
But I am that guy. I'm the conservative man you're talking about. I take care of my family. I take care of my wife. I take care of my daughters.
but you don't
like
want to
that.
make the men in society responsible.
I do, and that's
Okay.
why I am also against. I am against men watching sports.
Yeah.
I like, dude,
Because of Goy
men
Slav.
So
come after
so
me.
basically you agree with everything that I said.
I don't agree with that. You're saying that this is men's fault. Women have to take accountability.
No. But who's the leader in a conservative household, in a conservative society? Who leads men? So when you
Okay, but not
when men
every
have failed to be
not every
fathers,
household is a
failed to
conservative
teach-
household.
No, but you are supposed to be the example that you'd want to see in your house in society. So we are
I
seeing
agree.
the real life implications of poor and poor leadership from men, of fatherless households.
Liberal men, yes,
Fatherless households, right? So women with
right, which are liberals.
Okay, yes, but my point is, so we have failed society. The conservative men have failed society.
No, I wouldn't agree with that.
Thousands of children.
Wait, hold on.
Abortion is normalized.
Okay, because of conservatives?
What? No. Because
Can I read a super chat?
No, hold on.
because conservative men failed as fathers, failed as to influence
is not-
society correctly.
Okay, so the fathers that are abandoning their children are conservatives.
So conservative men are black men.
I was about to say that. So all these black men that abandoned their families are conservatives, strong conservative men that just failed their families.
No. Okay, so I'm talking
Or who
about
are these black men voting for? Are they voting for Obama or are they voting for Donald Trump?
There are plenty of women who get abortions and don't even tell the fathers. So it's
Okay, and these are all conservative women?
I'm talking about the men who weren't there.
I'm asking you.
I am talking
Are these conservative
about
women
So as
having
men,
abortions?
are you supposed to lead other men?
right?
Are you supposed to set an
There's more
example for
money.
other men? So when men have not
Yes.
showed up as fathers,
Mom and
when
dad
men
are
have,
fighting.
you can blame liberal men, whatever,
There's
right?
3.
But it still doesn't change the fact that as conservative men,
There's 3
you guys failed to
generations.
influence the younger generation of men to be good fathers, to have good priorities, and now we're living with the consequences of
We
that.
can try to influence as much as we want, but it's like the saying goes, you
It
can lead
worked
the
in the
horse to water.
It worked in the
Hold on,
1920s.
Hold on. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't force the horse to drink water. So we can put out the messaging, we can put out the movements, we can go to college universities and talk directly. I mean, look, Charlie Kirk was a prime example. He went and he talked to these liberal men. He debated them. He beat them with facts.
And he
Does
made
that
a
mean-
lot of them conservative.
And I mean, how
And,
much?
and now we have a generation of men who are so scared of speaking up. And that's why we have so many weak men as well.
I agree. And
So you agree with me the entire thing? You just
No,
you just
no,
want to be a
because your entire
contrarian to
thing is
anything that I say.
You started with the problem is conservative men,
It is weak men.
but conservative men are not weak men.
It
Weak
doesn't
men are
change
liberals,
the fact.
are Democrats,
There's plenty of
progressives,
conservative men.
the Eric Swalwells of the world, the Bernie Sanders of the world. These are weak men that are telling you, go and abort your baby if you want.
And because our messaging is weak as conservatives, and because we aren't,
It's not
all
weak.
of that is a
You
failure on
admitted,
us.
You just admitted that our talking points are so good with Charlie Kirk that we changed.
We
have the ability
only
to change
had
minds.
Charlie Kirk.
No, we don't just only have
As
Charlie
a
Kirk.
prime
We have
example for
many
young
people.
men. Right
Okay, guys,
now,
wait, come in. We have super chats. We got people donating money. Let's.
We should argue
hold
more.
on,
Seems
no,
like people
no,
love that.
No, it's good, dude. It's lively right now, right? Right, Jerry, you agree? We got the viewers jumping. We got. Okay, let's slow it down. Next headline, guys. We got to talk about the WNBA coaching wars, but hold on.
We got donations.
Hold
Hold
on.
on.
We got donations. I'll do the Pennywitz. I want you to do Vergas again. Because I'm going to do Pennywitz. Pennywitz says, quote, more women and men need to read published books from the anti-19th women of that era who were warned and advised against the 19th. Women are not slaves. Anthony, you want to read this
Women
one?
were not slaves.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, so El Come Verga says
Yeah.
it isn't the father leaving. 80% of divorces are initiated by women. Social media has corrupted the feminist mind or the feminine mind because of their cell phone.
Okay, let me get those in super chats, please, guys. Everyone react. Pollock Comer says, women have to take accountability for F6. Limes and Lily says, this is why, as women, I can never vote for a woman. POTUS, at the heart, they're always liberal/feminists. Tyler Wood, 42, says, Anthony puts his money where his mouth is. TBW Studio says, glad Anthony is describing me about strong conservatives. Jose Vasquez, thank you. $10 super chat saying, roses are red, violets are blue. White wine costs less than a dinner for two. I'll pray for Adeseli, Haley's future husband. Oh, they're gonna need a lot of prayers, bro.
And a lot of white,
okay.
and a
I
lot
was
of white
really
wine.
concerned about yourself, Jorge.
Let me read the chat. Let me read the chat.
that is wild.
They say you're 30. Fuck your hopes and dreams, bro.
I'm late, bro.
Why don't you have a mansion already, Jorge? You're 30.
No, okay. But just to elaborate, he's doing good work, right? He's working on his dream. But if he was
Guys,
barely,
let me read the chat. Let me read it. We got Limes and Lily says, Adeseli, stop. Not a good look to be super feminist.
Yes, thank you.
TBW Studio says no one should
no,
respect
I
the
actually,
cookie like that.
I hold men accountable
Adeseli.
because I believe in them.
And TBWY
Adeseli.
Studios, really quick, saying Adeseli pointing at Anthony's and saying we are not ignoring you. We know you got a lot of super chats, guys. We are loaded, which I'm actually glad. This means everyone is enjoying the conversation. Red Bear 85 said it gives me joy to see all of you donating for Americanos Podcast. Tyler Wood 42 says I am listening to you guys while in the movie theater watching the previews before Spider-Man starts. Let's fucking go.
I have to watch Spider-Man.
Let's go. Tyler 42 is a real one.
Wait, who
Thank
said
you guys. Thank you,
what
one.
was the Spider-Man comment?
Tyler Wolf 42 is watching us before he watches Spider-Man. That's a real G right there.
We love Spider-Man.
Thank you,
Did you watch Spider-Man, Jerry? Did you like it? 10 out of 10? 10 out of 10? Dude, that was the first movie that I rated 10 out of 10 this year. It was
Antonio
so good.
Lua 12 says feminism is fundamentally anti-patriarchal and definitely anti-Christian. Paula Comer, thank you. I think we got through a lot of these. Thank you guys for joining the conversation tonight. It is 9:03 local time. We were just honestly barely at our top 2 stories, guys, and then it has unraveled quick. We're gonna move in to a story, guys. Let's keep it men, women talk. WNBA. We're in the culture wars now.
Yes.
Jerry, let's go to Anthony's story. It'll be Anthony's story. WNBA to reconsider men playing in their league after 2 men announced training. That's the headline. Let me just get some context here, guys, because as a sports guy, not gonna lie, guys, to try to ignore this WNBA story because a lot of it is BS. But now it has gotten too big to ignore. And kind of a little shortcut version how we got here. Sophia Cunningham on the Indiana Fever, I believe, made a statement saying that she just believes that in the WNBA it should just be women, not trans women or men playing in WNBA. Then she got a lot of heat from the league. And there was a game recently where she drove it into the basket, went for the layup, and she got like a nasty flagrant foul. That it was a black female player that hit her with that flagrant foul. Then she went online on X and then said it was white privilege. So it has started off a culture war. And then it also is on the issue of this trans thing because Sophia Cunningham did defend women. You had a bunch of other head coaches then start to wear these protect trans youth shirts going against Sophia. So it has started off a whole thing. And just to add on top of the whole mess, we are living in a real life episode of South Park. Now we got Entis Cantor, former NBA player, essentially declaring for the WNBA draft, saying that he's transitioning to a woman. We got Royce White, also former NBA player, saying he's now transitioning as a woman. If we can, Jerry, do we have my number 6 in media? Should be Royce White sound. In that Jorge Media number 6, we do have it. I want you guys to listen to this, and then we're going to react. It's Royce White on Fox News explaining this decision, then we'll react.
The WNBA even get to this point?
Right now I'm just having a blast in my feminine era. I never thought that I was a woman. I've always trusted the science. I thought I was a man my entire life, but after further review, strong look at my personal preferences, it would appear that I am indeed sometimes identifying as a transgender woman, and I think it's only fair I get a chance to play with some of my queens here in the twilight of my career, my athletic prime.
Why are you getting involved?
So basically, guys, this story has gotten too big to ignore to the point where the WNBA is having like a special sessions meeting to essentially define what a woman is, because now they're having this PR battle with these 2 NBA former players trying to declare for the WNBA, and this is now all over X. It's now getting covered all over the news. I've been watching some of the sports channels, and this thing has really carried a life of its own from the sports angle world. So from like the ESPN, Fox Sports corporate media angle is they're very angry at the commissioner of the WNBA, the commissioner of the WNBA, just for not handling this PR stuff. But this thing has really unraveled to the point where the story is now too big to ignore. The WNBA is kind of being put in this weird pickle. I'm gonna go to you, Anthony, first, as someone who does not like sports, thinks this is goy slap. 100%. I know this at least got too big to ignore on your Twitter timeline for sure.
Yeah, it definitely showed up. The aspect that I like about it is that we're finally using liberal logic. Liberals are the real transphobes. That's just the reality. You got these 2 queens, okay, that are trying to play in the WNBA. Why? Because the WNBA has decided to take the virtue signaling route in which they want to say, all you need to do to play in the WNBA is to identify as a female. They didn't say you have to be taking hormones. Because, see, that's actually transphobic. It is transphobic to say that if you identify as a woman, that you need to be a male taking hormones to become a woman. So you don't become a woman, you just are a woman. And so I think that by this technicality, by the WNBA, they are saying that, hey, per our policy, you are a woman if you say you are a woman. So now you have these 2 NBA queens who are trying to join the WNBA per their policy. And essentially they are saying, well, look, by their own policy, by their own language, we qualify to play and we want to play. And so to me, obviously, all kidding aside, all this stuff, I think it's just, well, put your money where your mouth is. If you really do believe that a woman is just anyone that says that they're a woman, then I'm going to identify as a woman, and now you have to put me in. Now, I'm not a sports guy, and I'm not a gambling guy. Except for the Cauchy the Cauchy sponsorship that I kind of had during the World Cup. But I'm telling you right now, if these two guys, women, are allowed to play for the WNBA,
You're watching.
I'm watching every single game, and I am betting on their team to win, because the reality is, and I know it's really hard for liberals to understand this, men actually can't be women. And when men are born men, they're just men. And when they pretend to be women, they're just men that pretend to be women. Now, I don't know how much college or university education you need to know about this. Doesn't matter if you go to University of UCLA. Doesn't matter if you go other states like Chicago. Who knows? You know, but if you're a liberal, it all depends. All I know is that the science is settled, and men are men, women are women. So good for them. Good for them.
And Jerry, before we get out of selling Haley to react, just play this link I just sent you, bro. This is gonna be the Ennis. I guess his last name is Freedom, not even Cancer anymore. This is his Entis Cancer Freedom. This is his announcement to the WNBA. I just want to make clear, this video on X alone, not counting the other social media, on X alone has 49 million views. Let's play this one from Cancer.
After careful consideration and reviewing the current eligibility guidelines, I am officially declaring myself a WNBA prospect. If simply declaring who you are is all that's required, then I meet every single requirement necessary to compete in the WNBA. My team and I have carefully examined the WNBA's eligibility criteria and governing framework surrounding self-identification and inclusion. Based on the current guidelines, I can and am officially declaring my eligibility for the upcoming WNBA draft in May 2027. I am definitely not here to mock, make fun of, or disrespect any community or personal choices. I am simply asking that the current rules be applied equally to everyone. The rules that represent the very values many WNBA players and coaches have publicly advocated for. My team and I are prepared to ensure these guidelines are applied equally.
So as you guys can see, this has gone just way too big to ignore. That video alone closing in on 50 million views. Before I kick it off, guys, TVW Studio saying, Anthony's saying that men can beat women on and off the court. Haley, let me go to your reaction once again. It's like a big, it's kind of rare when we have a sports story kind of fusion into the culture, then it's broken into the kind of the political atmosphere. Mm-hmm. What's your thoughts on this, and maybe how conservatives are handling it?
I mean, I think it's just a great way to show how men can stick up for women in general, especially within sports.
Strong men.
Yeah, I think strong. Okay, I'm not trying to get in your guys' debate right now. But I think...
Hold
on, the chat wants to hear from Haley, bro. They're going to go off on me. We got to give Haley at least like 2 minutes. Yeah.
No, not 2 minutes. Yeah, I just think that it's a great way for men to stick up for women. I mean, this conversation really started years ago. One of the first prominent women that stepped up was Riley Gaines. She talked about the issues of having a man within the locker room and what those consequences were. And I think a lot of the liberals at the time were basically just shaming her. And so I think to this point, it's like, okay, you want to shame someone like that. You want to just ignore women who are trying to advocate for the fact that women's spaces should be women's spaces. Then let's see how you guys like it when men come in and they beat you and they can outrun you and they can do anything better than you.
The problem is that the people who advocate for women or for like men and women's sports don't play sports, or they wouldn't be advocating for that. So they're not going to learn the lesson.
Yeah. But I think that this is a great point, because then it does kind of, to Anthony's point, it gets them all convoluted and they're like, I don't really know what to... Yeah. It's like when Trump...
We didn't think this was going to happen.
Yeah, it's like when Trump compared Caitlin Collins to Dylan Mulvaney and they were like, oh, that's so... And they don't know how to say it's rude, because if they say it's rude, then they're admitting... Well, it's transphobic, but they're admitting it's bad for a girl to look like a guy.
Right. Yeah.
So I think that's the point that they are now in, is that it's this kind of sticky situation where when you call out liberals on certain things that they do, that it's a full circle now.
Right. It reminds me, there's this very viral video of a guy at a Pride event, and I think it actually happened this year, where he goes up to like a woman, like a real woman, And he says like, oh, so like, how old were you when you knew that you were ready to transition? She's like, oh, no, like I'm not a trans woman. Like, no, of course you're not. You're a woman. And she's like, no, I'm a real woman. She's like, of course you are.
Oh,
but can you tell us about how when you transition? And again, it's like liberal logic. It's like waiting. You know, like the circle is just like going like, you know, but because it's like, well, how do I make the point that I'm a real woman and not a trans woman?
Yeah.
But if I say it that way, that I was born a real woman, not a trans woman, it's going to sound trans. And I don't want this soundbite to go out to the internet, and now I'm being considered transphobic.
That
by
was
my own
no
comedian.
cap. No cap.
I think it was no cap. Yeah.
That was really
such a great video because, again, it goes back to like liberal logic. You claim to believe these things, but now when you're in the position of having to defend it, now we need to have special sessions and be like, maybe we need to rethink it, which is going to be interesting the way they navigate it, because where is the commissioner going to say, hey, we changed the rules, and from here on out, in order to be like a trans woman, you have to be like actually taking the hormones. And
there might be some type of testing. Let me go through some of these chats, guys.
But that's what I'm saying. That's transphobic, because now you are telling women that or men that claim to be women that there's a special criteria you must meet in order to be it. When before the criteria was all you have to do is claim that you are a woman.
Let me go through these chats, guys, before we go on, because we have a lot. Redbear85 says, my father is conservative. He is a failure, so Addison's not wrong. Damn, bro. Tyler, hold on. Tyler with 42 says, I don't think he spews enough hate towards pro sports. I think he's supportive of you. You said you wanted to read a super chat or something?
So Richard Sweet, he said this a while back. He's been asking us to please read his question for a bit. $5 donation by Richard Sweet.
Right,
Thank you so much for donating to live stream. By the way, if you haven't donated to a stream yet, you're gay. Okay, so I'm just letting you know, like those are the rules. Jorge, please read my comment to Araceli. It won't let me send it on super chat. Here's a question that Richard Sweet has for Araceli. Araceli, when are you going to take accountability? Christian men don't want to approach women like you because of this exactly.
Well, then be stronger. Like, I believe that men can be strong. I'm so sorry that I expect more from you. And that's the problem. And that's why men have been weak. Because you guys have been babied, right? Because the standard, like other men are putting for you, is down here. I'm putting it up here for you because I believe in you. God forbid I believe in men.
You believe in me?
And men to make enough money to put 10 children to private Christian school.
I don't want 10 kids. That's a lot of kids.
That's feminist.
Feminist is not wanting kids.
How many kids do you want?
I think 3 or 4 is a good dynamic. I would never just. I would want to not. Don't want to say never. I would want to not have one because I think it. Like, have you met kids who don't have any siblings?
Why are you laughing so hard, bro?
They're so stupid. Like, what is that, bro?
And then 2 just seems lonely. Like, I had a big family growing up. Like, I get along well with my siblings. I think 3 or 4 is like a really good.
I think having siblings, especially around the same age, is very important because it's like. You want like that best friend.
Yo, Richard.
Yeah, like me and my brothers, we hang out all the time because we're almost the same exact age. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Let me go through some of these chats. We got Lord Vin Zinger Sama saying, I won't say not all conservative men, since Anthony is proof of it, but I can't deny Addison's point though. It could use some nuance. Hey, we got TBW Studio says, I think the whole stream is about to be...
It hurts you to agree with me, huh?
It doesn't because you're not talking about strong men. You're talking about liberal men.
Let me read this TB chat because it hits the nail on the head. It says, TBWY Studio says, I think the whole stream is about to be Jorge trying to read a chat while Anthony and Adeseli are arguing while Haley is on the side with popcorn. We got Paulette Comer saying, true, conservative God-fear men are not weak. Isaac Hernandez saying, don't worry, guys, you have me... 2 now.
Do I look like I
Lions
bite?
and Lily says, yikes, now her voter base knows what she thinks of them.
That they can do more. I believe in you. I see your potential and I want you to achieve that potential. God forbid.
God forbid I want you to make millions of dollars.
This is why calling me a feminist doesn't work, right? Because I believe that men should be the head of the household. I believe you can be stronger and I want to push men to be stronger. I'm so terrible for that.
Oh, man.
TBWY Studios following up with says, never talk smack with Haley as she always has great responses. I think TB's your #1 fan.
Yeah. TB,
appreciate
our
that.
friend over.
We got a Lord Vin
never mind.
Zinger Sama saying, I do remember some conservatives going anime and abandoning the culture. I admit that is my problem with the right.
What?
I think their issue is with conservative men watching anime. Okay, we got Antonio Lua 12 saying, LOL, and Haley is not smarter than Anthony. Oh,
that's true.
Antonio Lua is one of, he's a 19th
Honestly,
member.
that's fine. I know.
Red Bear 85.
Now that's confidence. She's like, I don't need anybody else to validate my intelligence.
Cool, awesome, guys. We're go through chat. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Addison, we have to swing it your way. WNBA.
My favorite part about all of this is that you have the trans people calling this a mockery because they get to decide who is part of their group. So that means that is you have just opened and leveled the playing field. That means that me as a woman can now tell you that you're not a woman because I am a woman who can decide what you are, and if you want to be part of my group. So I absolutely love and I adore this conversation.
Popcorn, guys.
There was actually a famous transgender that went very viral. Responding to this, I don't fucking know. Some random transgender that has a lot of people. I don't know who they are. You keep.
He's like tries to look away from the screen when he's like.
No, it went viral. It was a quote. It wasn't like a picture.
It wasn't a picture or anything.
It was on X.
And he was still reading it.
So anyways,
like, oh my god, the gay is gonna get.
So anyways. So what this transgender said is, leave it to a cis male to try to make a mockery of women, blah, blah, blah.
Queen.
Which is funny because it's like, bro, you were literally, first of all, you're calling someone a cis male. Can you explain to us what a cis male is? Yeah, you.
Don't do that, Anthony.
No,
Okay,
I don't approve of
As
this.
a straight man, you cannot have an opinion.
Yeah.
But if you put on
That's what I'm
lipstick,
saying.
Good job.
What is even
your
a cis
opinion
male?
now matters.
I asked her because she's educated. I didn't ask her for any other reason. I wasn't trying
Why
to
didn't
pick
you
on
ask
her.
Adesanya? She's
Okay,
educated.
what
You're scared of
is
Adesanya.
a
You're scared to
cis
debate
male?
her, bro.
She doesn't know. Do you know what a cis? You know
Your
what?
clock this whole stream.
Hold on. Do you know what cis male means?
doesn't that just mean straight male?
Hold on. See? Do you see how she doesn't know? You see? It's not that I don't.
What is
stupid.
cis? What is cis? I thought it meant heterosexual.
Hold
That's
on.
straight.
Hold on. A cis man, short for cisgender man, is a man who was assigned male at birth and whose internal gender identity aligns with that designation. You said a straight man.
That's exactly what that is.
But that's sexual orientation.
But isn't it? Read the definition again.
You can be a gay man and be a cisgender man.
Oh,
According to this. Hold on. They've got like an encyclopedia for retards called liberals. It says here, okay, a cis man is a man who was assigned male at birth and whose internal gender identity aligns with that designation. So you can be a gay man.
You can be a gay cisgender man.
You see how
I hate liberals. This is just all so unnecessary. Why do I need to know this?
So imagine being a transgender man who was born a cis man, and you're saying that a cis man can't determine what a woman is or isn't.
This is why Gen Z. This is why Gen Z can't buy a house because somebody taught them about gender identity and not how to pay their taxes. This is really sad.
We need a whiteboard because I just
we're gonna bring in a roll-in whiteboard and have it right here.
This is peak liberalism, bro. If AOC wins,
it is peak retardation.
If AOC wins in 2028, bro, this is going to be.
It's the fact that you think AOC is running.
It's the first mommy president.
Oh my god,
you're so gay for that.
Jorge's gonna submit his application. He's like, I'm going to work for you for free. No. As a matter of fact, he's like,
I've been waiting all night for that.
As a matter of fact, he's like, I will pay you to let me be on your campaign.
He would. I'll work for free.
No, he's gonna pay her.
Slave.
He's going to pay her to be on his campaign.
Oh my gosh. She has big.
Raj.
She has
I
big
was
old.
trying to land the plane. I'm like, where can I land the plane? And then boom, you gave me that opening.
Not if what's his name? Alex Stein has you beat.
We got dude, TBW Studio says Haley is different because she connects with her audience. She liked that reply to my comment on IG. Jorge has never replied to me. Damn,
bro. You just ignore your audience?
You interact with TB on IG? I got to. TB, comment on the post.
I think you already did. That's what he's saying.
It's because
he doesn't just ignore me.
Jorge thinks he's too famous.
No.
Make your profile picture AOC and he'll reply.
Yeah, honestly, do that.
You'd be like, oh man,
He's like, yeah,
this
yeah, one
profile
more.
has big old aspirations.
Big old political aspirations.
That needs to be clipped up.
Dude.
Big old what?
We
That
got
was funny.
Ivan the Elite saying, a la verga, Anthony, holy ball knowledge.
I am a ball knower, bro. See?
Is it this? What's this Vergas one, bro?
That's my boy. You leave Vergas alone.
Well, Vergas saying, perfectly said, Penny. She's so effed up in her logic. I wish I was there. I would tear this and all her points apart. They talk about
Hey, whoa,
bro.
what?
Yeah,
Who
talking
are we
about-
tearing up?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who are we tearing up here? What are we talking about?
I don't know. Let's keep it family friendly, huh, folks?
Yeah, hey, take it
Hey
easy.
yo, hey yo, hey yo. Okay, so basically, guys, we're gonna move on. But all you gotta know is the WNBA Culture Wars has officially started. It's not going anywhere. We'll probably continue to cover it. We'll even see what happens in the special session if the WNBA is gonna define what a woman is. Either way, the WNBA can't win. They're trapped in the corner. We'll see what happens. I do want to move on to this next story, guys. This one making the headlines yesterday. And when I mean headlines, it was a shockwave. The text messages from Fauci, guys, we're starting to learn a little bit more and more. Senator Johnson was able to get these text messages and put them out to the public. And as you guys imagine, it caused quite the ripple effect on X. This is also coming after just a week of Fauci getting roasted from everywhere on the I Plead the Fifth, from sports, comedy, all over. It cracked into the world of culture. Haley, this is your favorite American, so we'll start off with you.
Hey, this is my story. But anyways, go ahead.
Just your reaction to the senator. It seems like we're going to get more and more of these text messages.
If you want to go first, Anthony, go ahead.
No, I mean, I just want to read like a tweet that I had linked up with this, and then we'll get over to you. I talk too much anyway. New Dr. Fauci was concerned in January 2021 that the second dose of the COVID shot, quote, theoretically could be associated with miscarriages in the first trimester. And this was because of the symptoms that people that had taken, pregnant women with the first vaccine, the symptoms that they were experiencing. And so now they were worried about the second one. Senator Rand Paul, this is again the Senator Ron Johnson said, and I released a text between Anthony Fauci, Rochelle Walensky, and Vivek Murthy below. While I've been conducting oversights for years, now that we have the documents and Fauci's government-issued phone, my investigation has only just begun. And this took out like wildfire because once again, conservatives can look liberals in their eyes and say, we tried to tell you. And I think somebody actually put up a graphic that there was over 1 million miscarriages after people took the second dose. And there's actually people on Twitter sharing their story saying that following the vaccine that they had a miscarriage and that they tried to tell their doctor, this happened after you guys gave me the vaccine. And the doctors are like, this is not true.
Keep going, bro. But just in the midst of this, Jerry, if we could just play that, if we could just hold the link. I just want the audience to look at the Johnson tweet so they can read it for themselves while we're talking about. You can keep going.
No, go ahead, Haley. Take it away.
Yeah, I think it's more than just saying that, you know, those of us who didn't take the vaccine and were advocating against it were right. I think it's, I don't know. I think it's really sad. Like, I think it's sad that people had to feel pressured when they knew. I think about the women who, you know, I was reading one of those stories where I forget who it was that tweeted out, but he said that him and his wife were able to have their kid. His wife went against the vaccine, but their friends who had gotten pregnant at the same time, she ended up getting the vaccine and she miscarried at full term. And he wrote how whenever they go and see those friends, she always gets really sad because her kid was supposed to be that same age. To all of us, the psychological warfare that it placed on us, I think is insane. Also, the fact that not only that text message was him admitting that, but in one of the later ones, he admits that in the vaccine trials, pregnant women were not allowed. So why would you ever put someone that is pregnant, that is giving birth and supposed to give birth to a life at risk? Yeah. Like, why would you ever do that? And he knew. And I think that, you know, there's not a lot of people that I hope rot in hell, but like,
he's definitely a top.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just think, like, I have friends that I knew people that got the vaccine, thank God that they were totally fine when they were pregnant, but I also have friends that were pressured when they were pregnant. And like, to me, that's just like, you know, it's one thing for myself when I decided not to, like, I wasn't in that situation, but to be concerned as a mother, I can't imagine the pressures that you have to go through of being like, well, if I lose my job, how am I going to provide? Or if you're in that situation, or if, you know, I lose my job, my husband is my only source of income and we don't know how we're going to make it. Like, those pressures just, I think, are just so, someone has to answer for it. And if no one else answers for it, then Fauci has to answer for it. And I think this rightfully pisses off a lot of Americans. And it should go across both party lines. Like, this isn't just a Republican talking point. Yes, the Republicans are bringing this forward, but it should not just be a Republican talking point. Everyone was affected by this, and everyone should be right.
I think
and the Republicans allow this to happen as well.
But I think that the problem is that it would mean that liberals would have to go back and say, we are so sorry and we were completely wrong about it.
And that's
okay. And there have been some.
Yeah.
Who was it?
I mean, we're going into the sports.
Stephen Miller?
Stephen A. Smith.
Stephen A. Smith, sorry.
The
he
sports
apologized to Kyrie Irving, saying like, dude, we got it wrong. I think there have been some people, but again, to ask liberals to look in the mirror and say, we were absolutely wrong. We're sorry we called you anti-vaxxers. We're sorry that our figureheads and our politicians were forcing this. I mean, I remember when Biden was talking about, if you are a company that has over 100 employees, you're going to have to get the vaccine. We talked about this 2-3 weeks ago. Senator Dianne Feinstein of California talking about, you're not even going to be able to take a flight here domestically unless you have, and then now unless you have the vaccine or you have a COVID card.
They were finding companies who weren't forcing the vaccine on their people.
Yeah,
absolutely. And now again, although late,
I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay with the apologies late. Like, that's fine. I think it's more so, I think the ones that I get pissed off about is that when he was in that hearing and it was the Democratic senators saying, you know, you did amazing work, you know, don't listen to what the Republicans are saying. Like, that kind of stuff is just like, after all of this, really? Like, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna say to all the people that were sitting behind him that eventually stood up that they shouldn't be pissed off. That this man who allowed all of this, who knew from the beginning, knew what he was doing, got high off of the media praise. Like, he's the one that
made
really
millions off of the media praise.
Probably not just millions, but big pharma.
Yeah,
made billions, maybe trillions off of this vaccine, and this is why again, it with liberalism. They claim to be the anti-big pharma. We're anti-corporation. We're anti-big pharma. We're anti-this. But then what happened in the 4 years under complete liberal control? We're teaming up with big pharma to shut down your life. And we're going to use CNN and MSNBC and all our propaganda talking heads to confuse you, to lie to you. There's all these videos surfacing again of Don Lemon saying, I don't care how this sounds, but if you don't get the vaccine, you're not allowed to go to the grocery market. You're not allowed to go to church. You're not allowed to go to work. It is time. And then it's like a 20-minute montage of just liberal talking heads. All these late night show hosts saying, I don't care how it sounds. It's time to just hold these people down and start vaccinating them.
And AOC was even talking about concentration camps to an extent for people who were unvaccinated. And that's just such a wild take that it was so normalized. The hatred towards the unvaccinated was so normalized that they were at a point where you can talk about putting us in camps because we didn't want to take a vaccine that was experimental at the time. And now we're actually getting a lot of the real data. I don't even want an apology from these people. I could care less. It doesn't matter to me. What I want is for them to at the very least, turn around and say, make the politicians who lied to them accountable. I don't need an apology. And I think that's where a lot of these people, what stops them from coming forward and vocalizing it, that they're afraid of the shame, perhaps. I'm hoping that that's what it is, that they can now see through the government. I want this to be, at the very least, your come to Jesus moment, that the government can lie to me, that my political party is lying to me, that we are putting your loyalty to a political party above the safety of your neighbors now, because that is what this is. If we're seeing, what was it, 82% of the people who took the vaccine while they were pregnant miscarry, how many of those women, it's just that's murder, and you're taking away a woman's right to her own body at that point. Now, all of this comes at the hands of the government. So at the very least, wake up and hold your party accountable. I'm not even telling you to be a Republican. What I'm telling you to do is replace the people who didn't care about you, cared more about a paycheck and staying in power than they did about your safety.
And taking corporate money.
And taking corporate
big
money.
pharma money. Mm-hmm. But this is also, and I was talking about this a little bit earlier today with my Telegram, is this is why liberals want to continue to convince you that the fetus in the womb is just a clump of cells, because it is, and it is a propaganda by big pharma to convince liberal women that is not a baby. It cannot sustain itself, that it doesn't really have a heartbeat, because when big pharma feeds you all these pills and they get you all these vaccines and you have a miscarriage, you'll feel better about it, because like, well, technically it's not really a baby in the womb. It's just a clump of cells. So now when people are talking about miscarriages, I've already seen some of these comments by liberals saying like, well, it happened in the first trimester. It wasn't like really like a baby yet, you know? And again, that is the lie.
You don't have to feel guilty, and you don't have to hold them accountable.
Exactly.
If it's not a human, then it's okay.
Exactly. And that is the propaganda by big pharma to liberals to say it's just a clump of cells. It's perfectly fine. It is healthcare even. You know, I wasn't it during the pandemic that we had, who was it, Miley Cyrus licking like that cake? It went very viral, and it said abortion is healthcare. I don't know if you guys remember that.
I don't remember.
That went like very, very viral. It's the continuation of, like we said, feminism destroying women, destroying the family, the nuclear family, and destroying really just Christ in all of our lives. You know, it's just, it's tragic, man, really to, and the thing is, I remember standing in front of Kaiser's. You and I went out there, bro. Like we went out and we interviewed a lot of these people. I'll never forget being in front of Kaiser, nurses, pregnant women saying, I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I've taken every vaccine. It's just, I'm not sure about this one. I have friends that have taken it and they're telling me they're having horrible side effects. I'm pregnant. If it was just me, kind of like to your point, dude, if it was just me, I'd take it. I'd allow myself to be the experiment. I don't mind. But I've got a baby growing inside of me. Not a fetus, not a clump of cells, a real baby gifted to you by God. And I'm scared for my baby. And you know what Kaiser and liberals and big pharma said? We don't care. You either get it or you're fired.
Well, then they also lied about the data. They said that
Of
there
course.
was only a 12.6% miscarriage rate when it was, 82?
I mean, a 12.6% miscarriage rate is also really high.
Yeah.
It's not something that we should just be brushing off. That is, 1 in 10 women who took the vaccine are now going to have a miscarriage. But again, it's only acceptable because it's a clump of cells. So I do agree with you on that.
And that's why it's all relative. It's all it's just convince women that it's not really a baby. That way when big pharma is responsible for killing your baby, it's like, well, it was just the first trimester.
And then they can make more money on the side because now they're offering the IVF treatments, which they're making billions of dollars on.
Or you can freeze.
That's why, but that's all expensive.
Yeah.
Big pharma is in control. The medicine.
Even the transgender movement, all of that is big pharma. I remember during the pandemic, people were doing real big deep dives on the transgender and how much it costs to go to the surgery, the hormones alone.
Who's behind that, Anthony?
Don't start. There's actually there's actually. Hey, I'll talk about it. It's not that I'm scared about it. I'll never forget that there's actually an article.
Okay.
There's actually an article.
Let me read the chat.
Hold on. There was actually an article by a pro-Palestine activist that's a transgender that wrote an article, and the headline said something like, I am pro-Palestine, but all my hormones are made by Israelis. So now I'm conflicted. I'm pro-Palestine, but the only medication that is out there is coming from...
And he's making the Israelis
Israel.
rich.
Baby, give me a call.
So you're not really...
Exactly, yeah. So
well, it's $1 billion. So it is $1 billion industry. And that's what I hate about the whole transgender movement that happened in California, where we had 13-year-olds getting their breasts removed. You have, and having sex changes. You now have created a customer for life for Big Pharma.
100%.
Yeah.
You can't take this back.
Not just big pharma, but psychologists, right?
The doctors,
therapists.
You are making sure that there's 4 or 5, probably 10, 20 people that now are going to have a customer until this person dies. That person will never be able to live without big pharma and without all of the other doctors. Realistically, I think most of this is really just people wanting to make money, but God forbid you have that conversation.
No, I absolutely. This is why I continue to just be mind blown. I'm like, bro, this is so obviously big pharma trying to create new clients, new surgeries, a whole new industry, and so that we can get money, so that we can give you these hormones.
And it always works for white liberals first, bro.
It's. I mean, sadly,
there's a ton of I'm telling you, put trans kid local news. There's a bunch of stories where it's the white mom and dad and saying,
I'm just laughing
little
because it's
Skylar
true.
said he wanted to be a girl, and of course, Skylar, you can be whoever you want.
It's
Skylar.
true.
And you know what?
And then the thing is, they're like, we supported Skylar's transition, and then it always shows the whole community being behind Skylar. Right.
And you know what's interesting is that I remember during the pandemic we weren't able to gather to like hold like meetings and stuff like that. And I remember that there was a woman that owned like a studio and she opened it up to like for Republicans to gather. And so we were talking and stuff, and she actually brought up that point. She's like, dude, I noticed that all this transgender stuff, it tends to be white people. And I think that what it is it's white guilt. You have the media, you have colleges and universities teaching people that white equals bad, convincing Latinos and Hispanics that, no, you're not white, you're brown. You're different from these white colonizers. Even though your last name is Hernandez and Hernandez is Spanish, Spaniards are colonizers. But I digress. Digress. But digress. But that's a separate conversation. Separate conversation for when we have Nick Fuentes on the podcast.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're actually getting him on the podcast? That'd be funny.
Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Not necessarily working on it, but hey, we're a free speech platform. How can we be conservatives and not be for free speech?
I would love to have a conversation.
But what I was telling this woman is that society, and especially during the pandemic, there was a lot of white guilt. You had the rise of Black Lives Matter, the George Floyd. There was a lot of white people that were feeling white guilt, and we've talked about this maybe once or twice here on the podcast. In which I remember that when people were showing up to these Black Lives Matter protests, that white people were being told you need to head to the back of the protest. Why? Because you are white. You are a colonizer. You are the oppressor. And so what this does is white people are basically, especially white liberals, are looking at each other like, how do we get ourselves back in the front of the line? Oh, I know. Let's turn Skylar into a trans, and now we are part of the oppressed. We're no longer the white colonizer. We are the ones being oppressed. Hey, my fellow black man, Jaquan, please. I'm actually not
I'm one of you.
I'm not a white colonizer. My son Skylar is transgender. We belong in the front with you. We are the oppressed. We're just like you. Black, but not really. We are trans, we are queer, we are gay, we are lesbians, and we deserve to be up front with the oppressed, with the black people. We deserve to be up there with you, and we will fight the fascists, the Christians. Those are the real fascists. The white conservative, those are your enemies. Us white liberals, we will donate, we will march with you, and we agree that conservative whites are the problem. That's just, it's just
that
the
was
truth,
beautiful.
Bro. It was good, right?
Yeah. Can we clip that up?
It's just sad,
that's
bro.
what I was saying. Yeah.
But it's sad. It's what internalized white guilt. There's white people that truly feel ashamed because the media has been against them, colleges, universities, and look at Tyler Robinson, bro. Sleeping with a transgender kid, now part of an oppressed minority group.
And I will have to say this: ever since white people, you guys fell for this, you guys stopped making cool rock band music in the garage. All right, we got no more Blink-182, we got no more Good Charlotte, we got no more Sum 41. Come on, man. It was a beautiful time when I was in middle school. Bring that back, white.
I also think the whole what is it called?
Look at Vegas.
The participation trophies is a problem. Just a soft society.
Another liberal psyop.
Yeah, because everybody wants to be oppressed because everybody wants to be a special cookie. And if you're not smart enough to be the special cookie, if you're not willing to work for it, you can always be the special cookie by having mental problems.
Well, everyone in our country is fat. So.
Okay, yeah, well, that is also a problem. It's also one of the reasons why our healthcare is so expensive, because obesity is one of the leading causes of death in our country.
And during the pandemic,
we should jail McDonald's.
It was like over 80% of the people that died because of COVID were because they were obese.
Did you read those studies on nicotine?
What's that?
how nicotine.
Suppressed the virus. Good for you, Haley.
Really?
You're always gonna have
Yeah.
nicotine pushing big
Interesting.
tobacco.
Pushing her heroin.
Yeah. She's
Shit,
pushing big
do you
tobacco.
get paid?
I'm pushing
You
big
need to get
AOC.
paid for this.
I should.
We if we can, guys, we are gonna move on here on our stories. This is an Anthony story. If you want to touch on this one, kind of making some of the rounds today, and I feel like it's one of the more ones that people still don't know about. Trump assassination plot, switching planes, flying out of Turkey. Anthony, reaction to this one? I don't know, Jerry, if you have the link.
Yeah, I'll send it to you
Send
right
it
here.
to Jerry just so we can kind of pop up the headline for the audience.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
And you want to fill
And
us in here.
Unfortunately, this is just going to be one of those stories that once again, just liberals taking the L. No, I'm kidding. This time it's actually Iran. So liberals get to take a break right now. But this is PBS News. And this is really interesting. There's a little bit of humor in there. We'll get to the humor in a little bit. But report Trump used an elaborate ruse to fly out of Turkey following a summit because of an Iran threat. If you guys remember that President Trump was out in a NATO summit in Ankara, Turkey. And apparently there was a very credible Iranian threat to his life that he actually ended up having to kind of juke everybody, including the press pool that usually travels with him, and that he was going to be boarding Air Force One coming back from Turkey to the United States. But actually, that's not exactly what happened. So it says here, an alternate military aircraft was used, the old switcheroo. Not the reach around, the switcheroo.
Those switch if they blow up the media, not me, huh?
That's what's so funny. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
I do like that.
Well, the White House made it appear that the Republican president was flying on Air Force One, according to a report published by the Washington Post on Monday. It's also been confirmed by the New York Times and apparently sources at the White House. The Post said that the operation was prompted by an Iranian assassination threat against Trump, because, of course, Trump is one of the greatest presidents of our lifetime, and everyone's trying to kill him, not just liberals, believe it or not. Iranians want him dead, too. The Post said the operation was prompted, blah, blah, blah. The ruse was carried out as journalists and some White House staff members were led to believe that they were on the same plane as the president as he began his journey back to Washington. But he was actually taken out of the plane and was put onto a separate plane, and that is how he ended up returning. So what makes this interesting is, again, the fact that regular people still flew back on that original Air Force One, including the press pool. So it kind of looks like he was willing to sacrifice the press pool. You know, it was kind of like, Mr. President, we just, like I just imagine him like on his limo, like pulling up to Air Force One. And then he's like, Mr. President, we just received confirmation. You got to take a separate plane. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's devise this plan.
Whoa.
They're going to use this to like transport him. And he's like, sir, what about the press pool? Fuck the press pool. Like, put him on the real plane.
He's like, you mean the fake news? Let him, let it happen. No. But I mean, you have to be real about it too. If they had, if they had changed anything other than the president, the people who were threatening his life could have changed up the plan and gone after him too. So they had to make this.
Sacrificing the media was brilliant. I think that was.
I mean, I don't think I think
Better
that was just,
you
it
than
might have been
me,
a
I always
plus.
say.
I don't know if it would have it was necessarily sacrificing them. It was you either preserve the lives of the president or notify them and put his life in danger. So
I mean,
you're just in.
I've just seen the memes and look, I think it is something to point out is it seems like every other month there's a new assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Just recently, I think a week or two ago, we talked about the one where he came down here to SoCal to do like a fundraising event at a golf resort that he has out here in Orange County, I believe, and that there was a guy that was arrested on a Saturday because this guy was taking videos and photos where Trump was supposed to speak, and when they came and approached the guy, he ended up having like bullets in his pocket. Then they went to his house and they ended up finding like bulletproof vests and grenades, I think, and like a modified illegal AR. And apparently some kind of journals that had some writing that was very concerning to law enforcement. So again, it's kind of like, do I believe that President Trump has all these hits out on his life? I do believe that there are enough people that do hate the guy and want to see him dead, especially when you have liberals out there, Democrats out there talking about how he is the greatest threat to America, that he's literally Hitler 2.0. There's going to be very mentally ill people. And unfortunately, Democrats, that's the kind of people that they attract are mentally ill people. into their voter base. And if you keep selling this message to them that if we don't get rid of Donald Trump and he is a fascist, I mean, you've got Gavin Newsom talking about how Donald Trump is rigging the election in the midterms. How is he rigging the election? Because Donald Trump wants you to show.
Trump says the same thing. Let's not act like he's not saying Democrats are rigging.
Right. And what did Democrats say when he was saying it? Oh, no, these are the safest elections. And, oh, this guy's crazy. There's no such thing as rigged elections. But now Republicans are in power, and suddenly we have rigged elections. But here's the problem. The rigged elections with Democrats is mass mail-in ballots, where even dead people, even people that don't come here anymore, that don't live in California, are receiving their mail-in ballot, which even Democrats agree leaves it more susceptible to illegal voting, to repeat voting, to dead people voting. There was a report out of Orange County where someone was able to register their dog and the dog voted, et cetera. When Republicans are rigging, it's we just want you to show your ID and prove who you are. There was actually that soundbite that just came out of Kamala Harris where she did like an ad talking about how Republicans are rigging. And she's like, you know what Republicans want you to do? They want you to show ID to prove who you are. And I'm like, and? That's rigging to Democrats? Is having to show an ID to prove you are who you are? I mean, this is just, dude, I hate to say it's just peak liberalism, bro. It's just, I'm looking at their logic and I'm like, where's the bad in that?
This is Anthony's episode going
Well, then
off
a lot of
and
them
women.
don't understand why they're liberals anymore either. So most of them either are single issue voters, and it's usually the pro-choice issue that
We're not going to be a
them,
country full of Republicans, necessarily.
Right now, Republicans or anybody with some type of common sense, you're labeled a right-wing Republican if you want somebody to show their ID to vote, which is common in every other developed country in the world except for us, because then they wouldn't be able to rig elections.
It's just insane.
Yeah, it is insane. So anybody with common sense is now labeled a right-winger.
Anyone right of the DSA is a right-wing extremist.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because both parties realistically have moved to the left. And I've made this case before. Obama in 2008 said we need tighter security, we need border control. George Bush allowed 5 million illegals to come in during his presidency. We're not only going to come after those illegal aliens that crossed during the Republican, we're going to come after the employers. Republicans today are not that harsh. They're not coming after the employers. If anything, Donald Trump has said, you know what?
There's already laws that if you're hiring an illegal immigrant in California, and this was put in by a
you think Democrats are going to enforce those laws?
That's what I'm saying. The problem with California is that we don't enforce our laws, but there are laws that exist. And
that reminds me of, remember when they raided that agriculture place where they ended up finding that minors were working?
Yes.
Do you remember who that farm belonged to?
It was a weed farm. I don't know.
It was a weed farm, belongs to an ex-cop. And this guy's like a #1 donor for Gavin Newsom. So Gavin Newsom's top weed donor guy owns a farm that has trafficked human beings and minors working at this location.
So they were being trafficked sexually, and they were being put in unsafe work conditions.
Labor trafficking.
No, I thought I saw sexual trafficking as well.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but mostly labor. But you know what the story was? It wasn't that Gavin Newsom's donor owned a farm that had trafficked minors working in these labor camps. That wasn't the headline. You know what the headline was? ICE is racist.
Yes, ICE is racist.
ICE is racist because they saved trafficked kids from labor camps.
But this is what I'm saying, that where the problem is also the Republican Party is bad with messaging. Okay, if one side is only pointing out that ICE is refusing to point out any of the facts and give people any information, and they're only propagandizing the situation by saying ICE is racist, then why isn't the Republican Party coming out and saying, hey, exactly what you just said? Why aren't they paying for media to educate people? I'm not even asking you guys to lie to people. I'm asking you guys to inform people. But our messaging is so weak that it has allowed the Democratic Party and the DSA to get stronger within California and to propagandize the citizens. There's no effort to educate anybody, to tell them, hey, it was a weed farm. There's no effort to put out the fact that it was one of Gavin Newsom's donors that did this, and that's why he got away for the longest time with trafficking children. And the moment that these children are rescued, the left is making this a problem. Isn't this something that should be all over the news, that the right, that conservatives, that should be pushing and they're not.
But you think that LA Times, whose owners are endorsing Karen Bass, a communist, you think that they're going to be reporting on how Gavin Newsom's donors are using illegal minors?
No, they want press access.
Absolutely. And that's the problem. And that's the problem, by the way, with the right and the left, because Tucker Carlson has talked about how Fox News has suppressed stories from Republicans because they want access to Republicans. The media should not be worried about access. They should be worried about telling the truth to the people that tune in to watch.
That's why independent journalists are so important now, and that's why people honestly don't agree with like legacy or don't even follow legacy media anymore. They want independent journalists who are willing to go out and fight for the truth.
Absolutely.
But then also the Republican Party should be investing in those independent journalists as
They're
well.
not going to invest in independent journalists.
It would be smart to, but God forbid we do anything smart.
Republicans doing something smart? I don't know.
They'll just continue to rely on Fox News.
I used to think, I probably shouldn't be saying this on live.
Jesse Waters is going to continue to tell you that socialism is bad and that's going to work. That's the
Socialism is bad, Jorge.
Okay. Tell that to young people. Let's see if it works.
If socialism is bad, then why does everybody get something from it, huh? Tell me.
Oh, very smart. Let's clip that and put that on your campaign messaging. Bob Archuleta.
I might actually get some votes. I might win over Gen Z.
Wait, yeah.
All right, guys, we do have 6 more minutes till the show. I do want to say thank you to everyone who has stuck with us all night. It has been a lively conversation, a lot of debate. Really, really good. We got a lot of super chats coming in. Let me just read some off before we do our sign off. We go, Penny Wits, all conservatives are center right. Penny Wits saying, Araceli, I do payroll for California. Illegals are hired all day, every day. 0 repercussions, 0 I-9 audits in my 15 years doing this. Jose Vasquez, 4720 says, chat, I missed the chaos. Currently, 2 format, LOL. Yeah, bro, you got to go back to that middle stream, okay? If you see me going like this, you're at the right place. AOC is mommy. TBW Studio saying,
Louise.
I know Jorge's falling asleep right now, but can we hear Haley talk? Guys, come on.
Oh, we do have a super chat from the producer.
Read it.
It says, somebody wants to know your thoughts on Planned Parenthood. What are you, let's do like a quick 2 minutes.
It's eugenics. It was made so that we can get rid of the less
favorable babies.
That's what it is. Less favorable babies. It's racism, and it's acceptable racism for some reason. It's okay to say they're placed in some of the more poor, economically struggling areas.
Over 80% of all Planned Parenthoods
It's predatory.
are walking distance from black or brown people.
It's predatory. That's what it is.
Oh, you're telling me there's no Planned Parenthood in Calabasas?
I don't know. Maybe.
Try to find one in the rich areas of Newport.
Or where concentrated white people are. You probably won't
Just
find
put Planned Parenthood Orange County. Is there even one in OC?
All right. Well, not all of Orange County is white, bro.
I mean, you know?
Really?
Okay,
it's
then
Asian.
super
It's like Asian
is
or
there
white.
a Planned Parenthood in Calabasas?
It's got to be super nice.
No, there is no
There you
Planned
go.
Parenthood
That's
in
exactly my
Calabasas.
point.
That's your answer,
The closest
bro.
nearby
Sorry,
locations.
Skylar.
Wait.
Can't
Hold
kill
on.
your baby
Hold on.
here.
The closest nearby location to
South
Calabasas
Central, Inglewood.
is Canoga Park Health Center, about 5 miles. Sherman Way, Canoga Park.
Mexico.
You want to know who grew up in Sherman Way, Canoga Park?
Was it you?
This fucking guy right here.
And they didn't abort you?
And you know who was around where I lived?
The Browns.
Black and browns. Exactly.
Well, no, my point is,
Isn't that crazy?
It is
There was a lot of fathers in
economically
that community?
predatory. It is racism, and we're just all accepting it. And especially women, we're fed the lie that yes, it's helping us. I don't think it's helped women at all, except to value themselves and make poor choices in life that they later on go on to regret.
Wasn't there like that remember there was like a lady that won the Grammy and she's like, if it wasn't for the abortion, I wouldn't be the successful actress I am today. Yeah. And that became like a huge meme. And I was like, dude, that's it. Here's the thing is, okay, as conservatives, I value women. No, I don't think that there's no one more than a Christian conservative that values women for the role that they play in society. A lot of us sometimes, like I was raised by a single mother. I love my mom to death. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my mom. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my wife. There's nothing I wouldn't do for my daughters. I love them. I protect them. We love them long time, right? And to me, it is so tragic to see what feminism, liberalism, and the messaging that Democrats have toward women is don't have children. Freeze your eggs. Do whatever you have to. Seek political power. Seek government power.
Have a boss, and it's okay to answer to your boss. It's okay to do whatever that man asks for. But God forbid you make a sandwich for your husband.
Right. And that's the thing is that they've sold the lie to women that it is empowering to have a corporate boss and listen to what he has to say and climb the corporate ladder. But it is somehow not okay, degrading to listen to your husband and to be obedient to your husband, which is something that Christianity teaches about. There is a structure to it, and I think that God's structure is perfect. I don't think He made any mistakes. And I think the big lie too is that people think that conservative men just like, well, my wife doesn't work and she's not allowed to work and she should only be in the kitchen.
And because they think that the conservative men think they're incapable. And I do think that I think this stems from not having like good men in their lives, if they have any at all. I was raised, thankfully, around very, Christian conservative men. So I completely understand that this doesn't stem from them thinking that I'm incapable of being successful. This stems from a conversation I had with my father. Why would I want you to go work 12 hours a day when you would have a husband who can provide for you and you can work when you want to and if you want to as a hobby, have children, right? So one option is, or Christian men are taught to value women and they're compared to what? Rubies, right? Something extremely valuable. They're never taught to degrade women. They take care of women because they appreciate and value women, but nobody really understands that. So the liberal propaganda is, oh no, they don't think you're capable of it. No, they want to take care of you.
They want to suppress
see it as
you.
a privilege.
They want to silence you.
Yeah, like that's what conservative men see, and the good ones. But this is why it's important to check and to understand what the values and who that person is, because they see it as a privilege, just like you should see it as a privilege to take care of your husband. It works both ways. And my biggest issue with Planned Parenthood is that you know that there are like pregnancy centers that actively help women, whether it's with getting ultrasounds. They're in vans and they'll go to your house or they'll go to locations to help you get ultrasounds and help you get the care that you need and help you pay for the care that you need for a pregnancy. One of the biggest reasons why women have abortions is also the inability to be able to afford a lot of the medical costs that come with pregnancy. And then there are these centers that will help women not only be able to afford it, but have access to all of this to a point where they even drive to you to make sure that you're safe. I had no idea that these centers existed until this year, earlier this year. But I knew about Planned Parenthood when I was 15, 14 years old. And that's
like where one thing, I know we're kind of getting ready to close, but I would just say that that's also where like red states can step up. Texas was talking about like if you have 4 children, because they're trying to incentivize having children. I don't think the bill ever made it past the Senate. We're talking about if you have 4 children, you get to live like tax-free in the state of Texas. Like we're not going to tax you in your home. We're not going to tax your income because we want you to actually, if we're having children, we know it's expensive, so we want you to keep more of your income. And so I do think that it is incumbent, to your point, where we need strong conservative men. Well, we have strong conservative men that are leading red states, and we need them to come out and especially reach out to these liberal women that are afraid to have children because they can't afford them and say, we're going to do everything in our power to make it more affordable, especially if you are single, especially if you are young, especially if you're still chasing a degree. We're going to make it more affordable for you to be able to have that baby and not even think about having an abortion. But why give access to Planned Parenthood when you can give access to centers that prioritize giving women access to the care? I agree. That's what I'm saying. So it goes back to the messaging. No, I agree. A lot of women probably don't know these places exist. They don't. Exactly. And so that's why it comes on the messaging. There needs to be billboards everywhere. Whatever that looks like. Ads. We have targeted ads now. It's 2026. If a woman is having a conversation talking about, I think I'm going to abort, immediately targeted ads. There is help. There are resources. Abortion is not the only way. I mean, AI. That's how conservatives should be using this money. AI is so good that women have found out they're pregnant because their algorithm noticed a change in their hormones, and they're now getting like baby food ads. So like we should be able to get to a point where we can target people who absolutely need not just access, but to know that these places exist. Yeah, absolutely.
Boom. It's 10:02. We're going to read some of the super chats before we do a sign off. Red Bear 85 says, Jorge, we need more of your point of view. To be honest, this is more of their issue. The only thing that I'll say on Planned Parenthood, only because I had a bit of a personal connection, is one of my best friends in high school. She's a female. She got an abortion in high school, and obviously we were young. I didn't even know too much about it. I didn't even know what Planned Parenthood was. I didn't even know really what an abortion was. But a year after, I started to see the trauma attacks that she has, and whoa, I think that's like not talked about.
And
I think a lot of
that is never talked
women,
about.
and I just want to quickly share this, but this is only because Red Bear asked, and we're talking about this, but it was a year after her abortion. We were at a party together. Everyone at that party had left, and she just started crying and then punching me in the chest. And she's like, "You don't even know what I've been through." And then I'm like, "What's going on?" And then boom, she explained everything. And I think that's probably, when it comes to this topic, I don't think that's talked about enough, of the women who actually did it, even the trauma that they live with.
I think there's like studies that say that like after an abortion, suicidality goes up like 140%.
And guys, I was a normal high school kid. I didn't know about politics. I didn't know. I just thought, oh yeah, she's pregnant. She wants to get an abortion. Like, yeah, we'll just do it, and then she just doesn't have a kid.
Did a study.
You don't think about it because we don't have adults educating us at that time.
With the alternatives.
Really quick though, I do want to say, guys, we had a really great, awesome chat tonight. Thank you to everyone that watched. I know I got a lot of comments saying they were watching from the East Coast. So for the East Coast, it's 1 a.m, and people were really hanging on. A lot of people, guys, were commenting throughout the night. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that's taking the time to listen to us. It really does mean a lot. There's a bunch of other podcasts and doom scrolling you guys could do, but you guys hung in there. Join the chat. Appreciate you guys. We are back on Thursday, 8 p.m. live here on the West Coast. If you can, subscribe, super chat, just sharing the link. It goes a long way. Everyone, we will see you again Thursday. And once again, we'll cover all the news. Thank you, guys.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.